Welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. Hello, my one person that's here with me. I thought I better go live a little early tonight. There's some weird things going on in these YouTube streets. I really don't really care about what's going on in the YouTube streets. But what I care about is my YouTube public. I'm really beginning to realize I am a YouTuber. And I did not know that being a YouTuber, consisted of the things that I find myself involved in. Hey, Laura. How's it going? But I thought I better just talk to the public at large because I do have a public and I'm grateful for the public. As for the people on YouTube, that's a different story. I have some real loyal, devoted supporters, and I thank you guys. I really do. I also have some naysayers. Hi, FRW, glad you joined me. I found my name in more controversy than the Iran-Contra affair. And I can't figure out why a whole army of content creators would come after me. A woman who came to YouTube for the sole purpose to share her journey. A woman who came to YouTube just to uplift fallen humanity, just to help my people. And now I found myself in controversy. Salute, Maria, Cassandra. I'm glad you guys are joining me. This is really, for me, not embarrassing. You can't shame me. I have a beautiful life. Hey, Lazy Bone. I really do. I was born with a third-degree heart block, and I was given the grace to live until I was at least 22 when I found out about that after I gave birth to my only son. Hi, Chef. I've been in some terrible situations in life. I haven't committed any crimes. I haven't killed anyone. Hi, Marvin Smith. Oh, yes. Thank you. Your birthday too, huh, Marvin? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You see, a lot of people don't really understand, and I certainly didn't have an understanding of this YouTube game. I did not know that people will do anything for content. They will lose their morals. They will give up integrity. They will give up honesty. They will group together and attack you as an individual. And I'm talking about these are men and women. And you befriend people you think, and then after it's all over, people say, well, this is only YouTube and there are no friends and you can't trust anyone. I don't live life like that. I accept people for who they say they are until they show me different. And there have been people that have shown me different things. And it's disturbing, but it is life. And you go on and you live life. Salute, Asatar. And you go on and you live life. I have no animus toward anyone on YouTube. I do not beef. Beef, I eat. Filet mignon, my choice. I eat it with a lobster tail. At home, I eat beef tips and rice. Or my sister will make me a Mexican dish that has ground meat in it. That's beef. And I love oxtails, and I fix them for my son. which I haven't cooked in about 2 years. So now my sister fixed them for my son. But as far as this talking about YouTube beef and stabbing people in the back, I don't do none of that shit. That's not who I am, and that's not why I came here. I can roast with the best of them, but I didn't come here to roast. I came here to share me. What you see is what you get. I've been called a liar. Uh, I've been called an old lady. I've even had death wished upon me that I wouldn't even make it until the 30th. Thank goodness all of these things that I'm called and the people that are calling me these things, they don't determine that unless that was a threat. And I don't know which way to take that. Since I'm a 63-year-old disabled woman, I don't know what that meant. But I didn't speak to that either. I don't speak to stupidity. But whenever people put things out about me, I must need speak. I want to say, hello, Gil Sr. How about them Cowboys? We won. We won. We won. Cookie's World. Salute. Glad you're here. You know, Cookie was telling my story before I ever met her. I went back and looked at some of her old videos. And as she was reading the tarot, one of the things she always tells us is if it resonates with you, then you take it and you apply it to your life. And if it doesn't, then don't try to make it. But the things that I heard, they were specifically for me. I have a whole internet, a sector of people coming to bring me down. I think these people don't know the definition of content. The definition of content is you must have a topic or a subject matter. So it appears that I am the topic and the subject matter. And I will be all of that for all of you. Say what you need to say. But at least, as my mom taught me, I'm glad to know that the things you're saying to me or about me are lies. That's what I was taught. Let what they say about you be a lie. And that's what it is. And I'm going to live with that. I'm real all right with who I am. I have been a friend to certain people on YouTube. A few of them, I got their number. We talk to each other. We talk about all things personal, private, family, YouTubers. You know, I'm a person, I shared with you guys when I first came on. Oh, hi, Ryan. I didn't know you was going to come early, too. Let me invite my guest in. I didn't know you was going to come early, too. I was just going to talk an hour before it was time for us to do our show. But everybody, please let me introduce my special guest, Ryan Rhodes. And I love this young man. I met him on Uncle Shook's panel, and he's the topic and the reason, part of it, because I asked him to join me on a topic tonight that is very dear to me and to him. And we had another guest that was coming. But now I understand that the guests feel that maybe I did something that was unforgivable for her. And so she decided that telling her story and helping the children, which is what she said she wanted to do when she contacted me through my inbox. Hello, Bucks Over Fame. She contacted me and said that she wanted to share her story because she saw us on Uncle Shook's panel sharing our story, and she wanted to be a part of that. And so if ever I did a show like that, she wanted to join. And I was so very happy and excited because she's a seasoned content creator. And what I mean by seasoned, I don't know how long that she has been here, but she is a woman of age and she has lived life. And I was very excited about it. Uncle Suge, I love you. Thank you. I was very excited about it. So I behave. So I welcomed it because we have some things going on YouTube that nobody wants to talk about. And the one thing that's going on is being bullied by men and talking about the worst part of your life, the lowest point that you share. And I know that people will take your story and share it and talk about it. They have that right because we give it to them. But in the manner of talking about the oldest person in the sector and then the youngest person in the sector and saying some of the most egregious and vile things, and everybody just laugh and clap and it's okay. Hey, do what you like. I don't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem with when you contact me and you say you want to be a part of something great because you like what I do, and then I formulate a program. I put together some information so we can share with the people because we're all hurting. Everywhere, families are hurting. We're more alike than we are not alike. And so, for that reason, I said this would be fantastic and I would love to do it. And when I called to confirm on yesterday, we had a conversation because remember, the information I got was through my inbox. It was not a conversation. And so, as we had the conversation to confirm for today, then the individual said that they saw not only me on Uncle Shook's panel talking about the molestation that took place with me and the other guests that were on stage that night. They also said they saw on Uncle Shook's when, excuse me, he was addressing, mods, and you need to be careful who you have for your mods, because some of the mods, the things that they do, they don't come to your chat, but then you see them in other people's chat, and so they said, well, this happened to me. Hi, Cat Daddy, with Southern Gotti, and she told me that she wants to be in the bushes. And I was just wondering, why would you want to be in the bushes on my channel and you're my mod, but on other people's channel, when I look at chats, then you're laughing and talking and having conversation. I said, oh, okay. Well, since you said that, then let me tell you what else. I told her what happened about a video that Southern Gotti taped. Seems not to be an issue for some reason. I told her about Southern Gotti wanting to send this to another content creator that she had controversy with. Seemed not to be an issue. Now all of a sudden the issue is, why did I tell her now? Now that the other content creator has become my enemy because I've done nothing to them. I'm public enemy number one. I forgot content. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. How could I forget that? How could I forget that I've become content for everybody for no apparent reason? How could I forget that? Everybody hates Toothless. When just a month ago, everybody loved Toothless. I had even one gentleman to defend me against another gentleman because of what I believe the gentleman did to my channel. I had one who I talked to every other day, and he called me Mon. We just loved on each other. Now don't call me at all and say, please don't put me in the category of the other people. But now we have no conversation. And that's heartbreaking because I judge people by the content of their character, of what they show me, of who they are. You don't have to see someone face to face, break bread, or sit at their table to know an individual. Most of us as humans, we share our most personal, our most secret things with people that we don't really know because we don't want to hear it over and over again. And we don't want to give family members or loved ones ammunition to do something to us. So, you know, with that being said, I don't have to meet you to like you or to love you or to not like you, not to deal with you at all. Uh, a conversation lets me know pretty much. I thought who you were and where you were coming from. But I know people are deceptive. We're humans and we all share that kind of stuff in common. But to think that you can continue to berate me and put me in a category, I don't fit in a box. You already know that I'm big, I'm fat, I'm bald headed, I ain't got no teeth, y'all say, but I do have teeth. I just choose not to wear them. I am big and could lose weight. I'm not going to. 9 times out of 10, I doubt it. Why I'm not putting in the work. And one thing that I know, if you don't put in the work, you won't get that result that people want you to have. I am content, I should say, in my condition. And I do smoke cool filter kings. Trust me, I do. But smoking them before I ever knew of my diagnosis. But I was born with the heart of an 89-year-old, so the doctor said. And I have to go along with that. But back to this story. Then, when the story comes out, because the content creator, she decided that she had to speak on it, and I told her she could do what she liked. Now the question is, why didn't I tell her before now? Why would I? My allegiance was not to her. I don't even know her. I told her how I felt about her and who she was. I gained my respect for her, and I started liking her when I heard her tell her story of recovery. And that was a beautiful story. One moment, please. Let me just grab this phone right quick. One moment. Thank you all for waiting. I appreciate that. Hanafaya, and I think I just messed up your name. Please forgive me. But I thank you guys for waiting for me. But, so then um, now I become the issue. And why didn't I tell before now? Why would I? See, this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And I didn't have to say anything. But since she mentioned to me that she took the lady's wrench a week ago, I knew nothing about that. I have never set out to get Gotti. I have only helped Gotti, and Gotti helped me. She walked me through some things over the computer. I was so very grateful. She walked me through actually editing. I learned a little bit how to edit in YouTube, how to split and how to cut something out and put it together. Of course, now you know I'm not like Uncle Suge, but I did learn a little bit of something on the editing. I learned that. And then from that, from the little bit of editing that I learned, she did drops for me, a drop for the beginning and a drop for the ending, and one special, which we have the same picture drop for my ending. I am a grateful person. I don't have a lot of money. I lived a pretty decent life and had some good jobs, established some great credit. All of it now is up to the limit. But that's how I pretty much live my life. I have an amount that I have given a content creator, and she as an individual who I thought that we had developed a friendship. I've given them together over $1,600 from February up until um, August, because I noticed my last payments to both were in August. And I was asked if I could prove it, then I would get my money back. And that was from the content creator. I'm never required Gotti to pay me anything. And then everybody would want to know, why you mention it now? Why not? When she walked out and decided not to be my friend for whatever reason, she's saying now that it's because she didn't take my side against Skinny. It has nothing to do with her taking my side against Skinny. I guarantee you not. What it would be if I would say anything, it was my hurt and disappointment that she didn't support me like I supported her when another content creator, Kwame, put out lies on her. He said that she was deviant and that she, had all of these texts out about him and things of this nature. She was sending other people information. I didn't believe any of what he was saying. I believed her. Why? Because I saw her as a friend. I didn't see her as an enemy. We've talked about my cousin who our relationship broke up behind this. She's heard recordings of that conversation. We talked about my daughter and her children that I love dearly, and sometimes the rocky relationship with their father. We've talked about everything and everybody that we can talk about, good, bad, or indifferent. But I want you guys to remember one thing. When I tell you I talk about everybody, good, bad, or indifferent, I mean that. And so if I'm having a bad conversation about somebody, please believe that the person that I'm conversing with is saying the same type of stuff, or we wouldn't be having the conversation. But I'm a person, I believe in building up people and not putting people down. Now I have men threatening if I say their name, if I come after them, what they're going to do to me. Virtually, I guess. I don't know if they mean in real life. I don't have a reason to talk about any men that had nothing to do with nothing. This all started because a lady contacted me and said that she wanted to be a part of something great. And she told me that she took somebody's rent. And that person and I now no longer talk. And we have not spoken since she sent me a text, because we haven't spoken probably before September the 6th. But she sent me a text on September the 6th. Now, maybe y'all are different from me, but for me, relationships are reciprocal. If I'm doing all the giving and you're not giving, then it's one sided. And whatever that is, it's a ship. It's not a relationship. It's a ship and it's sinking fast. She couldn't give me financially what I gave to her. But what she gave me was camaraderie. She gave me laughter. She helped me on knowing about things that's happening on my page. She gave me knowledge of the night that the numbers was put on my page. She's the person who called me and said, take the video down. I didn't know what was going on. I did not know. So to me, what she gave me is priceless. So the dollars that I gave her meant the same to me. I didn't have a lot of money, but again, I have credit, and that's what I used. I pay my bills every month. And so I didn't mind giving her when she wouldn't take money for the intro and the outro. She wouldn't take money for helping me learn the little editing that I learned. She would not. But I knew that she needed money, and I gave freely, not expecting ever to receive it again. But she said it in her thing to me that she owed me. I don't know if that means she owe me and she's going to pay me back, or she owe me because I did something to her and she's going to get me back. We have a vernacular like no other group of people. So we can be saying one thing, but it could be meaning another thing. I don't know. But, when she sent me that, I just said, okay, that's what that is. I didn't respond. That was just the end. Now, all of a sudden, I'm angry because she didn't choose the man's side. That's the same storyline that I got when I didn't get the interview with Kwame. It wasn't that I was angry because I didn't get the interview. I have no anger in me for no one. I did not like the process. That's what I didn't like. I didn't like that he got on the World Wide Web and said, fuck everybody. He's giving nobody an interview. He don't give a damn what your name is. And I just so happened to be in line for an interview. So I had to assume then he was talking about me. That's what I didn't like. But then I became the villain. That was the first so-called quote unquote beef that I was involved in. Then he told us we couldn't be in both chats. We had to choose between he and another content creator. And I chose to go with the other content creator and supported him very well. Supported him to the tune of, I thought, I knew it was over $600, but it was $862. And I do have proof of that. And I was not going to even deal with this at all, not in the public. Why? Well, all I do know is just don't call names, because now when they're addressing me, I'm that old lady, that old broad. I've done nothing to these people. Nothing. And if anyone can tell me what I've done, please. Hey, maybe I'm overlooking something. But I woke up to a loyalty video and they were talking about people being loyal. And then they were taking wrenches for the lack of loyalty. And then I looked down and there no wrench by my name. I don't care about wrenches. Anybody knows me know that. I'm not a wrench person. I don't even know what you do with no wrench. I don't even use a wrench in real life. I don't even have a toolbox. I don't. I don't use anything. So on here, what I do is I contribute to the content creator. I ask people to like, to share. I ask them to hit the like button, and I'm asking you guys to do the same for me. Hit the like button. But I am not a confrontational person, because when I disagree with people, I start hollering and screaming. If I'm talking to you, I cut you off. I am that person. You get the real me. A lot of these people say nobody is honest and truthful on YouTube. Maybe you're not. I am. I found some honest and integral people on YouTube, and I'm grateful to know them. Uncle Suge is one of the greatest men I know. Now, maybe not you and maybe not nobody else, but it's all about me and what I consider. And he has been very helpful and encouraging in my life. And one of the things that he taught me from the very beginning is that the way that you stay out of beef if you don't respond. Man, I don't be responding. I don't be talking about these people. And I am in more what they call quote unquote beef. But then I had to think, these people really don't have content. All they do is smear Kwame Brown. But they don't talk about his scamming. They don't talk about him being with the woman that's putting Visine in drinks. They don't talk about how to deal with that in a way that he needs to be dealt with. They're only talking about bullshit and making silly songs and silly drops and silly names. They're not talking about when a man turned on me for no apparent reason and now spend it because they love to spend and change narratives. Now I'm upset because my wrench was taken. Why would that be a reason for me to be upset when it was given back the next day? That wasn't the issue. That was never an issue for me. I don't care anything about a wrench. I really don't. What I care about is these people are so very good with talking to their base. And so what that signified when you took the wrench, it signified to your chat that you didn't trust me. That was my issue. Had nothing to do with no wrench. And then after I heard that, now I'm pocket watching. How can I pocket watch when I am stuffing the pockets? And I guess you could watch the money that you spend if you choose to, because I gave $862. And I'm sure my family going to talk about me like hell because I'm always asking them for money. So I can imagine what that's like. That's something stupid. So, hi, Mrs. Eve. Uh, yeah, they talk very little about it, not much. They're not talking about it as a collective. They're not talking about it like they're talking about me. I am a YouTuber with the least amount of subscribers. And everybody laughs and talk about the 30 people that be in my chat. Hey, lovely. They don't talk about it in the manner that all of us should be talking about it. There are other issues that we talk about that they don't talk about. How a man could wish death. Tell me I'm not going to make it to the 30th of November. I mean, I don't know to mean that he's going to send somebody to do something to me, or he thinks that he gives life and then he's going to take it, or it's just going to go away because he said it. I don't know. Nobody stood up for that. They all laugh and clap and give so the haters can be angry. Hi, Andrew. Thank you for joining me. They all give so the haters can be angry. They don't talk about a man who's talking about a young lady who has been violated and violated. They don't talk about that young man saying about that young lady that he don't give a damn about what happened to her and who gave her something up her rectum. They don't talk about a man calling a 63-year-old woman who's done him no harm ain't your mama, and I need a crane to get in and out of my bed, and I ain't shit. When did I happen to be all of that? Because just 2 weeks before that, I was ma. And, when we encourage each other, I was ma. And now all of a sudden, I'm an old woman who's jealous of everything and everybody. Please spare me. I cannot convince anybody of anything, nor will I try. And they have the right to say what you want to say. But I have done no wrong. Let's Talk with Andrew said, I seen you on Miss 504 panel and do believe you and the other woman is a liar. Thank you. I appreciate that because I had no reason to lie. I had no reason to tell Miss 504 before the time was there because I was not in a relationship with her. What I did know, it is a mess. It's a mess. But people will do whatever they need to do to make their money. And I'm not mad at them. Again, I am the smallest in number of all of these people. They all laugh about the 30 people that come to me, but I can guarantee you I have 30 loyal people that shows up in the chat. And I have 300 to 400 people that shows up after the video goes off. And then I have people that come and enjoy my content. I have content. I have topics. And the topic is, who were we before we were slaves? How can we learn to live in America without being treated as African Americans, without having every right that we were born with still taken from us? That's what I talk about. Z She, hello, salute. I don't know if that's Majestic Pharaoh because it's kind of written and I can't hardly see, but I think that's who that is. Salute. I'm glad you're here. All I do is, and I don't go back and forth, some people say, well, you shouldn't even address it. No, I'm not addressing these people on YouTube because I know they don't seek understanding. If you look at some of my videos, I tell you about the herd mentality. And that's what we have, a herd mentality. Um, we go along with wrong because we don't want to be the next target. That's those of us who choose to do that. I don't choose to do that. I choose to stand in truth and righteousness. Now, my daddy taught us that the truth can get your ass killed just as quick as a lie. So sometimes you have to tell a lie. And that is true. But I don't have to lie with these people because you know what they all say? It's just entertainment. It's just YouTube. They don't act like we're real people. They don't act like that this don't affect us emotionally. They act like that our families are not looking at us on YouTube. They don't care that our children or our loved ones, our sisters and our brothers, hear them talk about us for no reason. They don't care. So I don't understand how they think that this is entertainment. Entertainment is when I take up all your time, but you're enjoying that. Entertainment is laughter. Entertainment can be joy, but to don't care about what you say and who you say it about. It's something to that. And for the people to applaud and give to make the haters mad and then say, I'm pocket watching. I think the majority of the people that's applauding, I bet you they haven't given what I gave. And you say, well, if you give it, why you talk about it? Because I can. I can do that. This is a land where we all can express ourselves. You mean to tell me everybody on YouTube can express themselves but me? I got a whole army of people trying to shut me down. That's not going to work. I have a whole group of people out here in this world I don't even know. Hi, daughter of Zion, that I don't even know, that respect me enough to look at my channel, that comes to my channel. And I am appreciative of that. Oh, okay. Andrew, I was told you want to join the panel. I normally don't drop the link, but I'm going to drop it for you. So give me a moment because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I knocked myself off yesterday, and that's when the tenor of the conversation changed, it seemed like to me. I gave Miss 504 the proof. I wasn't doing it out of no vindictiveness or no of that manner, but since we were on the subject, she brought it up. Then I thought that maybe then I would tell her. And for everybody who questioned my motive, there was no motive. I didn't know that she was going to tell me that she took the girl wrench and that she was in the bushes. I didn't have a clue about none of that. She had sent me a message about talking about the subject matter, and I had made a mistake. I have betrayal of trust, but I had wrote betrayal of truth. So I don't know if that title triggered her, if an individual triggered her or talked to her. I don't know what made her decide to change her mind, and now she's making a video about me and what I should have done. I explained all of that to her, and I think she comprehended it very well. But now all of a sudden, thank you, Cat9 ATL. I appreciate that. I don't understand why now I'm the villain, and now it's like I'm with a beef with. I don't have a beef with nobody. I don't have a beef. Hey, Ernest, with Gotti. I don't have a beef with Skinny. I don't have a beef with nobody on this YouTube. I don't have a beef with Sister T. I don't have a beef with Regina. I don't have a beef with none of these people. But they think that they're free to talk about me, and I say something, all bets are off. Hi, the
Hi,
producer.
hi, Miss Toothless. How you been doing?
I'm doing
Yeah,
okay. I'm doing
yeah,
well.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but um, I think some people just get beside themselves. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube beef and drama, and no, I just watch YouTube entertainment. But it just seemed like it's one thing after another thing when it comes to beef, or somebody go create beef, somebody will make beef. Uh, I mean, it ain't that serious. Why people beefing on YouTube, especially black people, it don't make no sense. They don't have nothing better to
None.
talk about. I heard what you said. You confronted the lady on the thing. Now the reason I believe you because she said that the conversation about she said she wanted to say the Miss Skin was a lie. Well, it can't be a lie because why would you send something random if there was no conversation about it, like you said?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so since the so in my and so if anybody is smart and intelligent is it seemed like to me that if she got her wrench taken, she was trying to get revenge and thought about sending to Miss Skinny because she know that lady and Miss Skinny don't get along. But we all know that.
Yeah, but
It's
see,
common
that
sense.
happened. That happened though in August. That really
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, that happened in August. She just took the wrench the week last week. I didn't
Yeah,
know
but
anything about that.
Miss 504, Miss Skinny don't get along.
Yes, exactly right. That's why I kept
That's
asking her, "You gonna send that to Miss? You want to send him the video?" She said, "No, I'm not going to," but she wanted to, but she
well,
wasn't
that's the
going
same
to.
thing. She wanted to do it, but she didn't want to lead back to her with what she was saying. So that's why
And
she
that's
sent
what I
it to
was
you.
telling Miss 504 that
Yeah,
then my mind tell me then she really sent it to me because she thought I was going to go ahead
you're
and
right
just
to do her
send it.
dirty work.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done that. I didn't even know Miss 504 that well, but I wouldn't have done that to her because I
that's
did
why
know
you.
the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. So that's why I'm saying that's why you told Miss 504 about it because if you had something to hide or jail, you wouldn't have told her that. You just told that out of just
The
to keep it
conversation
hit.
she had with me about the lady.
Right. And
Yeah,
so it
if she
wasn't that
would have
serious.
never
Wasn't
did
no
that.
drama, ain't no beef. You were just saying what it was. And so if any, I don't understand why would be any misunderstanding on 504 part, how that came about. You know what I'm saying? Or why you told her.
Yeah,
And
I
I
thought
don't know
she
why she making a
understood
video.
too.
I saw she got a video coming up about you, but for what?
Yeah, I don't understand it, but it's and Eve, let me just say, I don't agree to disagree with nobody. I just
Right.
disagree, and then we can move on. We don't even have to deal once we disagree. We can
Right.
change the subject or we can move on. But my daddy taught me disagreeing is arguing, so I don't agree to argue with people. We may end up arguing, but I'm not agreeing to it.
Right.
I just think when something happens, and if you see it your way and I see it my way, and we see we're not going to come to a consensus, then let's move on to another subject, or
Right.
let's hang up, or let's walk away from each other, or whatever. He
Yeah.
explained to us
Hey,
very
hey,
vividly.
you know what the funny thing I know is Miss Toothless Tiger. People think like a lot of black YouTube people, they think now that if a person make a video expressing themselves on the subject matter, that they are envy or they're having a problem. I think that's what people think because unfortunately, I know when a person like make a video talk about a situation, somebody see there's a shade or a form of clout. You know what I'm just saying?
Hmm.
So it's sad that people think like that. Just the fact that she's making a video just because you decide to speak on the subject matter when
Hmm.
like there's a beef there when it's not a beef. And
Yeah.
then say a person can come and make a express themselves on YouTube while somebody thinking there's a seeing as a beef. What I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know how I got in a beef. I'm not in no beef. I'm not in no, these people make videos and talk about me and put them on private. I don't speak to that stuff. Number
Right.
one, when I first started getting attacked, I went to a very dear man. I don't know this man from Adam, but he looks at me and I had no clue. But I always tell people, you never know who's watching you. It could be a
Right.
billionaire watching you and they could say, oh, I like what they're doing. Let me help them.
Exactly.
You don't know. But he just said to me one night on Uncle Suge's show that he loved my work and he loved me keep on doing what I'm doing and
Hmm.
stay on course. And when he said that to me, all these people got angry and they started making videos about me, talking about how ugly I am,
Hey.
how fat, how I can't even get out of bed,
Wow.
how I can't even wash my own ass,
That's
all that,
sad.
all kind of stuff. And then the next thing I know, I was being attacked by this man, and I asked him, I made a plea to him, and he honored my request. So I do everything I can to honor what he did for me. But this
Right.
man never stopped talking about me. He put up a damn post for a whole week talking about $10 shots on Toothless Tiger. And
Hmm.
Umar Johnson was a scammer. Well, I don't see Dr. Umar as a scammer. I see him as saving the lives of children every day and keeping them off of psychotropic drugs. I see this. I don't know when he's going to open his school. He said in February. If he never opened a school, what he does for me is priceless. And Black
Exactly.
Boy Magic, they might not have no content, but I'm not y'all, and I do have content, and I speak on it. When I speak to you who you are, Asiatic male, when I let you know that black is dead in the eyes of the law, when I let you know it's 1669 Casual Killing Act that keeps you getting shot down in the street and nothing happens. Oh yeah, I have content and I
Yes,
speak
sir.
to
I mean,
my
yes,
content.
ma'am.
But yeah, now you all right, producer.
Yes, ma'am.
But whenever people go too far with me, then I must need speak to my public. I'm not speaking to these people on YouTube. They have a
Right.
herd mentality. It's called animal husbandry training, and they trained us as docile animals. We don't have enough sense as the cows or the sheep on the farm, and they keep us in that position by bickering against each other. We all know that the news don't cover what goes on in our community. Most of
Mm-mm.
our communities, we don't even have grocery stores or markets, whatever you call them in your town. What we have are food deserts. Our children couldn't eat vegetables if they wanted to because we don't offer them in our community. We have to go, most of us, 10 miles away before we can get to the first store. I speak to the issues of who we were before we were slaves. But how to take that knowledge and live in today's society. We keep talking about what people are doing to us. We're volunteering to be mistreated because we won't read. I want us to get back to who we were when we read. And that's what I do. That's what I talk about. I don't choose to critique nobody's. These people love to say, well, this is a reaction video. What to me, you open yourself up for a problem. I don't do that. I talk about me, Toothless Tiger. I talk about people. I don't talk about people individually. I talk about us collectively because I'm here to uplift fallen humanity, not to put anybody down. These people want me to be a liar. They just want to find one something they can catch her in a lie in. God damn it, you might catch me in something that I said one day and I changed another day. I have that right. You know, it's called prerogative. And you can change your mind or your opinion of something or someone. You can do that. But I didn't come here to put nobody down. I didn't come here to hurt nobody's feelings. Although your feelings may get hurt fucking with me. Because trust me, I am going to bet on me every time. I'm not a gambler. But if I have to bet, you best believe it's going to be on sure you bet. You can believe that. That's who I'm going to bet on. And when I say that I gave to Gotti and she tried to justify me giving to her because she made me a drop, do you think 800? And I thought it was $61. I'm $28 off when I went back and counted it. It's $833 that I gave to an individual since February the 24th up until August the 1st when I gave her the last $100 because she said she couldn't work because of the things that Kwame had done to her and she was just too upset. And I knew her situation. I thought I did. And then she kept saying on Miss 504 show, she didn't know me. I said, you know me. You know I cut people off. You know I get excited. I don't know you. Well, damn. So now you don't know me? I mean, I thought we had a real relationship, a friendship, a sisterhood. But apparently we didn't, and that was my bad. I could live with that because she's done nothing wrong. She had the right not to be my friend if she chose to. I've never bad mouthed her, but she said that I threw her under the bus and I threw Chase Bank under the bus. I never threw him under the bus. What I do know is somebody that I talked to had to tell Skinny the story because he mentioned his name. And when I talk about them people, and I said this, y'all, and I'll say it today, producer, it's hard as a human being. People say they love your content, but they don't contribute to your show. I spend money to have StreamYard like everybody else. I do whatever. But I would do this if it was just for me to do it because I wanted to do this. But it doesn't make sense that if you're going to donate and you're going to support the creator, that I don't, be a part of that where a person would want to give content. And I said that they come here and give me $1.99, $2, $3. I'm not knocking that. I'm grateful. But I see the same people in other people's chat. I didn't say in whose chat. I just said other people chat giving $5 every 5 minutes. That's disheartening as a human being. So you can't even talk about how you feel or think without you becoming a target. But that's what I said. That's what I meant. And that's what I say to this day. I'm grateful for everybody that do think what I say and do matter. And they give according to how their monies work. All I can say is I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You all can come on at the same time as me because Miss 504 was the reason I did the show. Now she's coming on at 7 to talk about me. That's fine. I guess she need content. Again, they don't understand content, but I do. So now I'm the content for everybody. So I must be doing some awfully good shit on this YouTube street that everybody want me gone. Why in the hell would all of these grown people come after 163 old broad with no teeth, fat and bald headed? And all they want to talk about is how fat, bald headed, and no teeth I am, and how I walk and how I struggle. Why? When Miss 504 contacted me and said she wanted to do this, I don't know, maybe this was a play. That's what it's feeling like to me. But hey, have your fun. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't bother nobody. I don't bother nobody. I'm not going to quit coming on. So all of y'all can keep coming on at 7 when I'm on at 7 on Sundays. And y'all can keep coming on at 7 on Tuesdays. And anybody who don't want to hear me will come and listen to you. Talk about Kwame, Queen Regina, and Sister T. But those people are not my interest. I don't see them as topics of conversations. Okay, producer, I'm sorry I had cut you off if you want to say something.
No, you wouldn't. You didn't cut me off your show.
Yeah,
Your
but
show. You cut me off. I'm listening what you had to say because
I have Southern hospitality.
I'm down south too. I'm in Texas, so now I respect you, man. I was listening to what you were saying. I understand where you're coming from. You know, it. I don't know what's going on, man. The reason is not because your channel is not bad. Your channel is very good. Is that a lot of black people have their mind focused on nonsense. The generations today have more focus on nonsense. You up here gossiping, talking about everybody, talking about celebrities and talking about the downfall of any black people. You have a lot more followers. But since you here to educate people and what you do, only people watch you is people who care about being educated.
That's
so don't be
true. That's
so
true.
don't be surprised rich people want to hear because rich people are rich because they do a lot of reading and listening. And rich people ain't rich for nothing. There's a lot of work to being rich. From my understanding, it's not easy
Mhm.
being a millionaire and a billionaire. They do a lot of reading and a lot of observation when it comes to law,
Exactly.
the land, and everything. Because that's where the money is. But they not in here to like Uncle Shu. Uncle Shu, he wrote a book, so he intellectual. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
and I salute to Uncle Shu. And Uncle Shu is very intellectual, and
Very.
he do his research. He do his
He,
research, and he
he's a
don't care about how many
researcher.
people. Yeah, he do good research, and he don't care about who watching his show, what they good or bad. He ain't gonna stop his show. That's what I like about Uncle Shu.
That's
He
him.
on the he don't care. He let the haters watch and the people who like him watch. And
Yes.
if you got a problem, he don't mind defending himself. He ain't running for nobody. And
Nobody.
so I like Uncle Shu, and he do a lot of work when it comes to his skills is very good when it comes to editing, even
Yes.
on live streams. So the man did work. That stuff's not easy. He's very creative. He's very creative. He entertained people 2 or 3 hours.
Yes.
Everybody else who's doing 2 or 3 hour content is bored and garbage. Yeah. For real. You know what I'm saying? They just rambling. But
I want to thank everybody for showing me love. Y'all know if you get to showing me too much love, I get to crying because
but
I'm a
you
big
good too
teddy
this
bear.
time. It's sad that people on here disrespecting the elders, and especially the lady that don't bother anybody. This is sad. This is how sick our people are in general, black people, to even do something, to even create a video about you when you ain't bothering anybody.
Yeah, I don't
That
get
is
it.
so sad. I want they
Thank
do
you,
their grandma like
everybody.
that.
Well, he said that the people don't like me. I'm not entertaining. They only do this because I remind them of their grandmama or their
They must don't
mama.
like
But
their grandma. I love my grandma.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
I miss my
That's a
grandma. She
good
raised
love.
me. Most people today is raised by their grandma, so they must be some sick people to not like their
Yeah.
grandma in
But
this generation.
just I just wanted to share this before because soon it's going to be time for Ryan to come up because we have a beautiful show tonight and hopefully it'll help some people. But just to show the things and to show that there was no uh me on my part, that little S down there for $5, that is the only amount of money that I've ever received from that person, which is Gotti. On February the 24th, when she did my first thing, I said, thank you for the love and support. And I sent her $30. Most people say that the drops are going for $20. I don't know. I just sent what I had to give. And then she did something else for me. And I said, salute, love you, little sis. And I sent $25. And then I said, thank you for being you on April the 27th. And I sent $40. And then I say, you bring you, because she said that she don't know why I give her, money. And I told her because she was a good person to me and to me, I thought, good friend over the phone. But not so with her, I guess. And then we go on to Mother's Day. I sent her $25 for Mother's Day and said Happy Mother's Day. And then On May the 9th, I sent 25, say, for all you do for me. Love you much. And then uh, she did a drop or something for me May 13th, and I sent her $25. Yet another one. Thank you, Gotti. And that was that day. Let me get to the next day. This right here, that's at the end. So let me go to another page because I don't want to miss nothing. That's the first page I just showed.
Hey, Miss Tusa, time drop down, let you do your thing,
Okay.
Miss Tusa. So you got a show to run.
Thank you for coming up. I greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for letting me come on, man. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay. So then we go to May 30th, $25. We got our money. Love you. And I got some money from somewhere. So she had done something for me, and I was just telling her we got our money because I was grateful. On June 7th, it was just cause I sent her $25. On June 20th, for gas or whatever, stay powerful. On June 27th, I hate you are going through, well, the gas was $33. On June 27th, I hate you are going through this because Kwame had made those statements. $135. And then she said she was unable to work, she's just too upset. And so to assist for your loss of pay, I sent her $100. And then July the 9th, uh, Abby sent her $50. Uh, that is not included in my money, so you can subtract that. And then L sent her on July 10th. That's when I was asking people to donate $5, and I added 20 to it, so it could be $25. So you could subtract the $5. And then Abby sent her $200 for her birthday, and you could subtract that. And then August 1st was the last amount of money that I gave her as far as take care of your business to help her just, because she wasn't working, wasn't getting paid. On sometime in between July and August or whatever, she went to see her daughter, and they had a problem with the airline ticket, and they had to pay to have it changed, and they had to pay to have it changed that day for her to get it at that price. And so I charged the amount of that where it says United, that's the ticket, and I charged $205. And on June 27th, that was the date of travel. They charged my card because I had given her the information so that she could make the purchase, $35. And she said, "Oh my, I didn't know that they still had that information. I'll pay you back." I told her, "No, don't worry. You're not even working. So, as long as I can pay my credit card every month, I'm fine." And that's what I do. I pay my bills. I'm bill poor. And like my son said, and my sister, I'll go to them if I need help. But, they know that I'm a helping person and I help people. That's what I do. And that's what that is. So my thing is, I don't do this and put this up here to toot my own horn because, I have people who make statements like, well, why would you show it, or why would you tell somebody? If you give, you just give because you want to give. Well, you do yours your way, I do mine my way. And again, when people attack me for no reason, then I have to give reason. How, thank you, Lovey. I have to give reason to the attacks. I must do that because everybody, and I know these people on YouTube don't give a damn about me and what I stand for. But I really had a mother and a daddy that loved us with everything they had. We grew up in the projects of Oak Cliff, Texas, Moneyhand Court. And, when I was a kid, my dad was a man who was in and out of the home. And I didn't realize that if some of that was a part of the rule that you couldn't have a man living with you, even though my mom and dad were lawfully and legally and covenantly married. And so Sometimes my dad would leave and go and stay gone for I don't know how long. Now, I don't know if that was what he wanted to do, if he was meeting the government requirement. I have no idea. I was a kid. The only thing that I can tell you that I do know is that they loved us with everything that they had to give. And they taught us values, they taught us morals. They taught us right from wrong, but we chose to live life the way we chose. And it was not always good or not always the right decision. I am not trying to convince anybody to like me. I don't give a damn if nobody likes me. What you care about me is none of my business. What I am trying to do is to let you understand that this stuff didn't just haphazardly happen and that it's more than one way to skin a cat. That's all I'm letting you know. That this story has to have meaning because from the way it was going, it makes no sense. There is no substance. Thank you for the cash app. I appreciate that. It has no substance at all. Let me take that off because I didn't want to do that. I don't even know how they came up there. I thought I stopped sharing my screen. Let me hold on a minute. I want to stop sharing this screen because I don't like to do that, show the cash apps and stuff like that, because people have a tendency to pick on people that support people. And I was told one of the reasons that one was mad at me is because I used to always ask people, please give to Uncle Shug. He does not get his just due. That man is not just on YouTube picking on Kwame Brown. He's not on YouTube just picking on Damn D and their scams. He's been breaking scams for years. And if you buy his book, you will read about that. That's what he does. Yes, Brianna, I am really a true Scorpio. I love for real. I'm deep. I trust until you give me reason not to. I'm not perfect. One of the reasons nobody wanted to know why this person made a video of her friend. Why would she even do that? And then offer and send it to me. Okay. Now, once the question was asked, and Miss 504 asked her, well, why did you do it? And the answer she gave was so very lame. It was because I am an imperfect being. That is a lame answer. A lot of these people that I thought were real people and that I thought that, cared, apparently they are not. A lot of people say, this is just YouTube. This is just YouTube. YouTube, you're real people with real feelings. I tell people all the time, YouTube, the first word is you. So you're responsible for you and your behavior. I may not ever keep subscribers because, they leave me every other day. That's okay. I'm going to keep coming back for those that stay because I have some that really want to hear what I have to say. They're not coming for no other reason but to hear what I have to say. And I say what I have to say. I do not cut corners. I am not two-faced. And I have told y'all, I talk about everybody I know, good, bad, or indifferent. But one thing I love about that statement, so do you. We all do. We talk about people we know, people we don't know. We do that. We're human. We fall short. And like I told her, when she told me that I was wrong for expecting her to respond like me, I told her, no, there's a scripture that's written. And that scripture says we all fall short of the glory of God. Well, since I found out who we were as a people, I don't use that scripture in the manner in which I used to because I see us as gods, the manifestation of who God is. And so, for that reason, I say that we all fall short of other people's expectations and even our own. So, that is more true to real life for me. And I did not anticipate or expect for her to respond to me. When I sent her the text at 1:34 a.m. and asked her, "Did you see Skinny denounce me?" and she didn't respond, I thought that was strange because we talk all times of the night. We talk from 11 to 6 in the morning. We've done that so many times. Thank you, Carolyn. You know I have to be authentic. I don't know no other way to be. I would probably love to be a liar and a cheat and a scammer if I was that, but I'm not. I love being me. True, honest, fat, no teeth, No hair, because I cut it off. I get the clippers and do this shit. Nobody else does it. So I really enjoy being me. But I was going somewhere with this story. And when I didn't hear from her until 10:52 a.m., that text said that I'm looking at both lives now. And good morning. And my land is golden. Hi, thank you for the kiss. I blow one back. Hello. And so that text said that let me just read it so she won't say when they start talking about me today that I misquoted her. I lied because she kept calling me a lie. One of the things that was intriguing about the conversation is when she's talking on Uncle Shugs or anyone else's panel, and I used to love her voice. I love, love, love it. She was so very beautiful and eloquent and sexy. But last night she was hollering at my ass and calling me a lie as if her lie meant more than my lie. A lie is a lie. I don't give a damn how cute or ugly you say it. I told her, shit, this remind me of what Kwame said. You come with them beautiful words, but you're not saying nothing. But with me, she was hollering and over talking me, and I'll cut people off, and she didn't know who I was, and why would I do that? Uh, hmm, it is what it is. I don't know where Ryan is, but he will be back. He came up earlier so that we can start the show because we are now on the 7 o'clock hour. I just wanted to come before Miss 504 did her show and put her spin on what she's saying now, like I did something wrong to her and I did not. I thought that I showed her grace and I showed her respect and I showed her honor. Here's Ryan. This is my very special guest. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Toothless Tiger. Can you hear
Oh,
me all right?
I can hear you very good.
Okay. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing fine. Let me just read this a little bit and then we'll start with our show. Is that okay?
Take your time.
Okay, thank you very much. So, on August 27 at 1:24 a.m., I said, "Did you see Skinny just announce me?" And on August 22nd, 10:52 a.m., she said, "Rewatching both lives now. Good morning." I said, "Okay." At August 22nd at 3:11 p.m., she said, "Give me a few, please." And August 22nd at 6:12 p.m., she said, "Almost at the end of the live, finally." Now, my live was about 2 to 3 hours, and his live was an hour and 30 minutes. So, how did it take her from 10:52 until 7? And then people say, well, and people is my family because I discuss all this stuff with my family. And well, she could have had to stop and do this. She could have had to stop and do that. She could have had to do all of that, but it doesn't take all that. But okay, let's give her that. So then I didn't hear from her until the next day. And then at 11:13 on the 23rd, she said, "I would like to chat if you're available at 1:30 or 2ish." And I said, "Okay." And then we said, "Available." She sent me a text at 1:44. So when I called her at 1:44, and I'm not like Kwame, I can show my my feed. I can show what I was just reading. Um, I can do that. Um, so when we had the conversation, I told her I just didn't expect for it to take so long for me to hear from her after what happened to me. And she said to me that people respond differently. And I'm like, yeah, but that's strange. I would think that you would treat me the way I treat you. And that is reciprocal. And she said, well, I wasn't being fair to her just because she doesn't respond when I want her to respond. That puts a negative connotation on it on her. I'm like, damn, no. I gave her the scripture. Then I guess it's my expectation that you would treat me with the same kindness that I treat you. But okay, that's fine, whatever. And then she says, yeah, well, I was going through a crisis. You act like what's happened to you was more important to me than what happened to me. I'm like, well, damn, I didn't know you was going through a crisis. You didn't send me a text and say, I'm going through a crisis. Now, I didn't say this part to her. I'm saying it now because, I thought of it later. This is the part I didn't say to her. You didn't text me and say that you were going through a crisis. You text me at 10:52 and said you were looking at both lives. So after we had the conversation and hung up, my mind tells me, how in the hell, if you're going through a crisis, looking at a live is important? So none of this makes sense. But hey, who am I and what do I know? The final word is, and Ryan, I'm almost finished. I thank you so for being so patient with me. I really thank you. My final word is, on September the 6th at 8:03 p.m., I received a text that said great live, and then shortly after that, I received a text that says, it's come to my attention that I need to step away from some situations to protect myself and others from ill feelings and emotions. I appreciate your time and wisdom and your space you shared with me, whether technical or personal. I don't feel I'm no longer needed, so I won't bother you further. I do owe you. So that's why I mentioned the money that she owed me. This is what she said in that text. I didn't ask ever for any money back. I'm not an Indian giver. And I didn't make loans because I don't make loans to people. Loans tend to cause relationships to break up. So if I do something for you, I really did it for you. And you can take that to the bank. But you can believe what you want to believe about Toothless Tiger. You can call me toothless. You can call me fat. You can call me an old woman seeking for attention. You can call me everything in the book. But what you can't call me is a liar and be telling the truth about it. You can call me a liar, but you won't be telling the truth, because my mama taught me, let whatever they say about you be a lie. She taught that to all of her children. And so on that note, I am done, as Miss 504 said when she do the video about me tonight, that she's done with the subject. I am done with this subject. Uh, I will only talk about any of these YouTube people when I need to defend my honor. And that's what I do. Other than that, I don't have to. Yeah, I seen that. I mean, I heard she went on TY's last night, and yeah, and she was trying to be. Thank you, Midnight. I'm glad you see that. But yeah, I heard that. I don't look at their shows anymore. And it's very ironic. TY was the only person that stood up when we knew that Amando had did something to my numbers, or I believed Amando had did something to my numbers. But I have to give Amando credit. Amando was the only man publicly, he and Asatar, that stood up for me when I started getting blatantly attacked for no reason. And he apologized to me because he realized, he said, that now he's getting numbers put on him. I don't know if that's true or false, but I thanked him. I accepted his apology, and I told him I still believe that he did what he did. But that does not take away from the fact that he was the only man who got angry, he and Asatar, that I was called Aunt Jemima, and that I was talked about in the manner in which I was. So for that, I'm truly grateful. Some that I love and care for, who said that they stood with me no matter what. Matt K, I love you, but I haven't heard from you anymore. And I understand. And I don't love you any less, but I get it. And I let people go. But you have to call a thing and not pretend you don't know when you're involved in it. Other people can say what they want and think what they want, but you, as an individual, have to take responsibility for it all. And on that note, I'm going to say thank y'all for that. Now, I want to allow my special guest to introduce himself. He is Ryan Rhodes. I'm going to say that. But I want him to tell a little bit about himself. If you know anything about the title, it says Betrayal of Trust. Well, what I meant when I came up with that title was, there are, every 68 seconds, someone is being sexually assaulted in this country. Many of us have been assaulted as children. Some of us knew what was happening to us, and we ran and we told, and people wouldn't listen to us, nor would they believe us. Some of us, like myself, because I was molested as a kid, it came back to us at the most inopportune time. It came back to us. For me, I was married. I was 19 years old, and I'm laying in the bed, across the bed. My husband was sitting on the bed. We were looking at a Western, and then I had an out of body experience. I seen me being taken down the hall to the bathroom. I seen me being placed on the floor, like on my knees and bent over. I seen uh, my brother rubbing, it's my oldest brother, was rubbing his penis up and down my vaginal area. I seen, I felt something warm. And then after that, I heard the rolls of toilet paper. I could hear the rolls of toilet paper. I heard that. And then the bleach. He used bleach, I guess, to wash his hands and to wash me. I don't know. But he wiped me up and put my clothes back on and took me back to the bed and laid me down. Uh, I did not remember any of that until that moment in time. And then I seen the entire scene. My mom and dad, how could I blame them? They were at home, they were right there. Thank you so much, K9ATL, for the super chat. My mom and dad, I couldn't blame them. They were asleep. How could they know? My brothers and sisters, it's 8 of us, and we were all home. How could anybody know? How could they know? And that drove me to therapy. I was very devastated. I told my oldest sister, she was devastated. We cried, we ran, we came to my mom, and we were so wrong. We did not know that you can't do that. But we put all of this on her at one time, and she was devastated, but she did believe me. And that was a plus. My brother, she called him to confront him. He lied and said, no, 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 that's a lie, that's a lie. But my brother also had an alcohol and a drug problem. And once he worked a program of recovery, he made amends to me. And he admitted to my mom and my family that, yes, he did do those things. And then he and I had conversations because I worked a program of recovery. I didn't have an alcohol or a drug problem. I went to Al Anon. That's for the family members, but those women were in such denial. I really couldn't get any help. And I saw a lady and said, why don't you come and join us? And I told her, but I'm not an alcoholic. She said, you don't have to be. The big book says the requirement is to have a desire not to drink. And so I went in there and I saw people relapse. I saw people get clean and sober. I went there for 9 months every day of the week at 8 p.m. I read the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I worked the 12 steps. I became free of my issues, all issues, but life still happens. So that's not something you do once. It's something you have to continue to do. It's to cleanse yourself of yourself. And a lot of us don't realize that I talk a lot and I talk to people and I tell them things. I do that to free me, not for no other reason. Because you can't keep this stuff inside of you. You have to let it out. I could tell it to a rank stranger because I don't have to worry about hearing it again. So, on that note, Ryan, would you please have the floor?
All right. Yeah, I'm Ryan Rode. I'm sure some of you have seen me around the panels, like Uncle Suge mainly. Sometimes on this panel, or not on the panel, just in the chat. But on the topic of the show, when I was about 8 or 9, I was molested. Like, well, first let me give some background. Like, my parents, working class, they basically worked 2 jobs that sometimes to provide for us, me and my siblings. And often they would just scramble to find babysitters, like whoever could take us at the time. And like I said, I was about 8 or 9. I used to get dropped off at my uncle's house, and he was married at the time to a woman who had a daughter that was 7, 8 years older than me. And yeah, basically she would just like expose herself to me, show me things, just like making sexual gestures, but it mainly was just like a lot of exposing herself to me and making me touch her vagina, you know what I mean? And like I knew it was like all of it was foreign to me, you know, like I had, like, I'm sure, I don't know if everyone, like when your parents, you would watch movies together and you would see nudity, they would say close your eyes. And yeah, I just remember closing my eyes just because I knew it was wrong. But I never came forward to my mother, and really it was just because I was afraid of being in trouble. Like I felt like I got in trouble a lot. Like my mother was really, really strict. We would get yelled at or whoopings for the smallest things. So really, I was just afraid to come forward. And yeah, like the reason, like I'm 38 years old, and I just came forward to my mother about this last Christmas. And what brought it up was I had brought up the idea of me going to therapy. And my mother, she's a black woman from the South, like she's real blunt, a little off the cuff at times. And she was like, "What you don't need no therapy. You act like you got molested when you was little." And that's what prompted the whole conversation where I was just like, you know what, I'm finna get this off my chest. And in speaking to her, like she blamed me, and that kind of threw me off or whatever. But when speaking to you, you told me that she possibly was just like really hurt by it. And all these years later, you know, it's hard to make sense of something like that. So yeah, but her blaming me didn't make me feel good.
No.
But yeah.
Not as a kid. You couldn't comprehend that. The beauty is that you showing her grace and mercy because you listened to what I said and you're considering that that could really be true. So that's what's so beautiful about it. I just thank you and I honor you for being willing to tell a story that most men could not even give themselves permission to think about. And I respect that. And I need you to know that it's a men that's feeling what you're feeling and going through what you've gone through. And you're saving some lives today. That's what this is all about. And it's bringing you healing. And you know, I also told you I'm a firm believer in if you must cry, cry. If you must scream, scream. If you must yell, yell. Just don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody else. Just do what you have to do.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, it's one of them things that kind of haunt you. Like I guess I've made myself be okay with it. But when you speak about like effects that it might have had, like obviously like it stripped me of my innocence, you know what I mean? Like it made me more curious. Like at 8 or 9, I don't want my children thinking about sex, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just like I don't know, like you don't want to, like I guess like in the future, you know what I mean? Like after it's happened, you've made sense of it in your mind or whatever. And yeah, it's just I don't know, it's a crazy situation. Like I guess it like over sexualized me when I did become sexually active in high school, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like I was young and it's like I wanted to just sleep with as many women as I possibly could. And yeah.
It's so real. So real. And so beautiful that you're sharing.
But then I would say like maybe 2 years after the incidents happened, because it probably happened like 3 times, and I hadn't been going over there. I remember that. Like I wasn't going over there anymore. And like I had shared with you the story about my mother cheating on my father. And my father, one time I remember him picking us up, putting us in the car, and I had asked my dad, I said, "Where are we going?" And he was like, "To your mom's job." And I remember asking him, I said, "Does she know?" Because I remember we popped up at my mom's job before unannounced, and she was upset with my father. And like they were married, you know, at the time or whatever, or they're still married to this day, but I'm just saying they're married.
Mm-hmm.
And we pop up at her job or whatever, and my father caught her getting out of a man's car. And they basically started fighting, and me and my siblings are just sitting there in the middle of the street watching this happen. And my mother stabbed my father, like right in the heart. And we basically were dropped off at my grandmother's house. And in the morning, my mother and father went right back home and sat us down and tried to make sense of that to I would have been 11 at the time. My sister's 3 years older, so she would have been 14. And then I had a baby brother, or I have a baby brother at the time. And they literally just tried to explain that to us. And in my mind, I knew it was all nonsense. I'm like, this don't make no sense. Ain't none of it computing at all. And they're together to this day, but that had long, very long lasting effects on me.
Okay.
With trust in women, like a woman could pour her heart out to me, show me everything in the world, and I will still always think that there's a chance that she could be being deceptive with me. And that's something I'm learning to work with the woman I'm with now, you know, and I'm just in working through it. I mean, I'm just vocal about it. Like it ain't something that I keep in my mind. I tell her, and I don't expect her to jump through hoops. I'm just telling her, hey, bear with me through this. And yeah, just like, yeah. You see a lot of traumatic things through your childhood, and it's far too many times that shit is happening in Black communities. Like I said, I'm Black and Mexican, and it's mainly our communities, like, you know, and we just keep normalizing
remember,
it.
I'm sorry. Remember what I shared with you about that? My mom and dad taught us that, it used to be a time when massa, took everything out on us, right? And so you look at yourselves. When you don't have an object for your hatred, then you do what? You turn the hatred in on yourself. And that's what we've done, is we turn the hatred or whatever the disdain is that we feel, we start doing it to each other. And that's all. I just want to interject that right there.
But yeah, just I guess I'm thankful that, you know how they say, like, hurt people, or you end up eventually carrying on those traits and you become the victimizer. But I've never hit a woman. Like, I literally, like, that incident haunts me. Like, I see it like it's happening right before my eyes. And anytime I've ever gotten mad with a woman, or we come to like an argument, or it just got heated, I always picture that moment and I just walk away or leave. You know what I mean? And yeah, just like I've never sexually assaulted anyone or molested anyone. It just made me very, very, very protective of my children.
Yes,
Like, I
yes.
don't even want them at my family members, some certain family members' houses, because there are other instances that have happened within my family, like distant family, you know, and it travels through the family. Everybody gossiping about the shit, but ain't nobody doing nothing about it. So that's why I'm a homebody. I'm always home with my kids. And I was telling you about my cousin, and I'm sure I told him about the show, so I'm sure he's listening. But I appreciate you, because me and him sit around and talk about just all the irregularities in our family, and we just bounce that stuff off of each other, and it feel good to be able to talk about it, because usually when we just like, am I crazy? Like, is something wrong with me? And it seemed like it's just me and him, man. We the only normal ones. But I appreciate you, cuz, if you're listening, man.
And I do too. And I told Ryan to tell you, I was so happy to hear that you all are cousins and you all can have this conversation, because you're really there supporting one another, whether you realize how much support you're offering to each other. It really helps to have somebody that can help you see things objectively when there seems to be no objection in sight. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, just like therapy is a good thing. Like, it really is. Like, I encourage, well, let me say this first. Like, usually when I was younger, we say, oh, that's white people problems, depression, anxiety, suicide, just all these things, all that's white people problems. And as you get older, that shit becomes real. Like, it becomes very real. Like, there have been times, like, I've never been suicidal, but there's been times where I just thought, like, would it be better if I just wasn't around? Like, and that's how it begins. That's literally how it begins. And then it just becomes increasingly worse. And then some people get to a point where they can't take it. But I'm not nobody's role model or nothing, but like, of all the shit I've been through, I think I've made it all right. Like, I have a beautiful family. I have a good job. I'm educated. Like I got people that love me,
Mm-hmm.
and that's literally just the battle of life. Just trying to keep your keep your sanity through all this craziness that going on. But
You, you
yeah.
know what else I hear, Ryan? That's beautiful. One of the things that Dr. Umar teaches us as parents of Asiatic, I use Asiatic in place of Black. One of the things that he teaches us that's most important as parents is to teach our children self discipline. And you exude self discipline. And that's a beautiful thing because that's what the oppressor and anybody who wants to take advantage of you take advantage of your lack of self-discipline, and they expect for you to react to or dance to whatever it is that they're putting you through. He gave the definition of discipline is doing what has to be done even when you don't want to do it. You do it anyway. That's discipline. And so that has helped you because you have that, and that goes a long way. It's called character, and it's a foundational thing. Like when we build houses, they must be built on a solid foundation. If not, then what happens to the house? Uh, the boogeyman or the big bad wolf can come and huff and puff and blow it down, or the
Mhm.
winds can come and blow it down, or the rain can come and knock it down. But when you have a foundation, there is a scripture that's written, and before I knew who we were, I really, really studied the word, and I know it, and I hid it in my heart because the truth of the word is true. But there's a scripture that says, train a child in the way it should go, and when it's old, he won't depart from it. It doesn't mean that you won't go through trials and tribulations and have hard times, because a lot of things happen to us when we're a child are out of our control. But what that means is we have something to come back to because we had a foundation and a beginning. So for that, I'm truly grateful. And I just, again, wanted to interject that because I believe in encouraging, because this take courage. A lot of people don't really understand this feeling and what you have to deal with within yourself. You ain't even talking about dealing with nobody else because you made a statement about you've never molested anybody. That's a beautiful thing. I didn't either. But I can tell you what they say, and it runs in your mind. The thought runs in your mind. They said, if you've been molested, you'll molest. And so you be asking yourself, will I molest somebody? Will I hurt somebody? Well, you know that that ain't in you. But when you hear these things, that's why words are very, very important. And you really got to use or watch how you use your words because you can speak some stuff into existence trying not to think about it. You will put more, time into it. And so I've never done that, and that's a beautiful thing because they always tell you, but if you was molested, they don't say that it's a possibility. They always say it like you're going to be. And
Mhm.
that's not a true statement. That's just, somebody's opinion. That's another thing Dr. Umar told us. A lot of things that they tell us about that they diagnose us with. And, I have diagnosis like anybody else, disabled. But a lot of that is subjective and it's just somebody's opinion. Oh, John Doe say, I got you, cuz he right here with you. He right here. So go ahead, Brian. I just want to encourage you with those words.
Oh no, I'll say I hate to have to go. I've got to go regulate my household, get these boys ready for bed. But I'll jump back up. I just need like 20 minutes.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. You know I can handle it.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. Ryan is so beautiful, and when he shared that with me the first time, I was so honored, and that he would even share that. Like I said, this has happened to so many of us women. uh, we do not even understand how bad it is. As a matter of fact, and thank you. I think it was who was that? Just put the in the chat. I try to look. So Abby, you're so beautiful. Thank you for putting the statement in there. Yeah, he has, and he's in therapy now. He shared that with me when we had a conversation. I put it up there though. That was Simset. I love me some Simset. She's always going to keep me on point and help me out, and I thank you for that. Um, Hi, Billy. Glad you're here. But I had gotten some information as I do, and let me find it. Let me see which one it is. Here it is. Here. Okay, this information that I have, I'm going to share since Ryan stepped down for a minute, and it is understanding and treating survivors of incest. And this is a real serious thing, for all of us. It says adults with histories of being abused as children present unique challenges for counselors. For instance, these clients often struggle with establishing and maintaining a therapeutic alliance. They may rapidly shift their notion of the counselor from very favorable to very unfavorable in line with concomitant shifts in their emotional states. Furthermore, they may anxiously expect the counselor to abandon them and thus increase pressure on the counselor to prove otherwise. Ironically, attempts to reassure attempts at reassurance by the counselor may serve to validate these clients' fears of abandonment. That's one of the things that you learn. One thing about being, molested, it really kind of dictates how your life goes. Uh, Even though you may not be aware of what happened to you, you have suppressed the things that have happened to you. But it's really kind of funny because a lot of the things you do it out of what happened to you, and you don't realize. You know how sometimes you may ask yourself, "Why am I doing this? Why am I tolerating this? Why am I in this relationship? Why do I feel like a doormat?" You don't even know, but it dictates really who you become and the choice of people that you choose to deal with and be with. Uh, it goes on to say the motivating factor for many of these clients is mistrust of people in general, and often for good reason. This article explores the psychological and interpersonal aspect of child sexual abuse by a parent and its treatment, with a particular focus on its relationship to betrayal, trauma, disassociation, and complex trauma. I need me some glaces, as Cookie would say. Unfortunately, I have two pair, but they are not what they need to be, so I need to get me some new ones. And so just bear with me. Incest and its effects. Child abuse of any kind by a parent is a particularly negative experience that often affects survivors to varying degrees throughout their lives. However, child sexual abuse committed by a partner or other relative, that is, incest, is associated with particularly severe psychological symptoms and physical injuries for many survivors. For example, survivors of father daughter incest are more likely to report feeling depressed, damaged, and psychologically injured than are survivors of other types of child abuse. They are also more likely to report being estranged from one or both parents and having been shamed by others when they try to share their experience. Additional symptoms include low self-esteem, self-loathing, somatization, low self efficacy, persuasive interpersonal difficulties, and feelings of contamination, worthlessness, shame, and helplessness. One particularly damaging result of incest trauma. Did I just read that? Yeah, I did. I got to go to the next page. According to Christian Cortius, Healing the Incest Wound, Adult Survivors in Therapy, and Richard Croft, Ramifications of Incest in Psychiatric Times, greater symptom severity for incest survivors is associated with longer duration of abuse, frequent abuse episodes, penetration, high degree of force, coercion, and intimidation, transgenerational incest, a male perpetrator, closeness of the relationship, passive or willing participation, having an erotic response, self blame and shame, observed or reported incest that continues, parental blame and negative judgment, failed institutional responses, shaming, blaming, ineffectual effort, and early childhood onset. So I always try to give, okay, there's Miss 504. Let me drop the link. She came. I am so happy. She sent me a text and told me that she was working. That was the text that you guys heard a moment ago. I'm so happy that she came. I dropped the link for Miss 504. Thank you, Regina M. I greatly appreciate you. That was our desire when Miss 504 contacted me. It's because she's about helping people as well. Let me bring her in. Hello, Miss 504. Okay, she did something with the computer, but she'll be back, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you so very much. That's why she contacted me. She wanted to help, and she wanted to tell her story. She was encouraged by my story, Ryan's story, and a couple other people that were on the panel story. And she wanted to be a part of something great. And that's what we call this. A couple other people that were on the panel. Hey, 504.
Hey, honey.
I'm glad that you made it. I thought you wasn't coming.
No.
Oh, I'm so glad that you made it. That really makes my heart feel good. But
no. Wait.
Maybe you have your YouTube on?
There we go. Mm-hmm. I had to turn something off. No, yeah, I was going to come regardless because we planned it and this is an important topic. So no matter what, if I make a plan to do something, I stick with it. No matter
that's what. Fantastic. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ryan and I have been talking, and I did a show before the show. So I'm grateful because I thought you were not coming. I thought maybe you thought something different. But I'm so glad you're here because I know why you contacted me and what you said that you wanted to do. And so I've shared my story, and Ryan started sharing his. He had to get off and take care of his baby. So without any further ado, let me please allow me to present to you guys Miss 504, Mouth of the South. And I'm going to let her tell you who she is and what she's all about. But I want to say she's from New Orleans, and I've listened to her off and on. And I just recently started back listening to her. And what I should say, what won my heart and endeared me to Miss 504. She told her story one night, and I listened to that story. And it was a tearjerker, one you can get the Kleenex for. She talked about her addiction issues and her life struggles and where she's come from and where she is today. And that touched me because I was, married to a drug addict, and I had some family members that were drug addicts, and they are living in recovery one day at a time to this day. So I was really touched by that. And we don't know each other very well, but for her to reach out to me after seeing me on Uncle Suge's meant a lot to me. And so I'm glad that everything that tried to stop this story from being told that you nor myself allowed it to stop us from doing what we want to do. And we had talked about, collaborating and talking
Right.
on these type subjects
On
to
these
help our
types of
people,
things.
because this is
Right.
what we're about, helping our
Mm-hmm.
people, not tearing each other down. So
Right.
with no further ado, I'm going to be quiet and let you take the mic.
Okay. Hey, everybody who may know I'm 504. I'm out of the South here in New Orleans. And I chose to do the topic with Toothless because I did see them speaking on it on Uncle Shuck's panel. And I feel like for us women, a lot of us don't speak on it, or we're afraid how people are going to look at us. We're afraid how they're going to judge us, or did we ask or even make us the victim, the
Mm-hmm.
accuser with it, what did we do to make them do that? All kind of things that you go through when you dealing with molestation. For my first time, I was only 8 years old, and when I'm just being able to really like talk about all of this,
Mm.
just being able to do it because it burdened me for so long, and it had a part in my addiction. It had a part in everything that I did with my life. And no one believes you. No one believed me.
Mm.
And the only thing with the first one was that was a cousin, a relative. And I remember that day, oh my God, like it was yesterday,
Mm.
and it wasn't just me. My mom was there. We were both involved in this. And he came there. We thinking there's nothing wrong. It's a cousin. I remember my mom was singing. She always thought she was Diana Ross because her hair was super long and she was the same complexion, big old eyes. So yeah, so she was singing that day, and I'm running around dancing, with the broom, having like mom. So we get a knock on the door, and that was the knock from hell,
Mm.
demon time. So he comes in, but he had this big, big, big old bag. And he made my mom cut the music up all the way, like really,
Mm.
really loud. I guess to drown out. Now I know
Mm-hmm.
to drown out the sounds
Okay.
from what was going on. So once that happened, I remember the bag, and the bag had garbage bags in it.
Mm.
It had duct tape in it.
Mm.
It had all kinds of shit, handcuffs in it, which
Rape
were
kit.
used, which were
Mm-hmm.
used. Yeah.
Ape kit, as they
Yeah.
say.
When
Ape.
they want to get rid of you type shit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So the music went up. The cuffs wouldn't, I'm 8 years old. The cuffs wouldn't fit on me. So he cuffed my mom to my bed.
Mm.
I had those two twin beds, one over here, one over here. Remember it like it was yesterday.
Mm.
And he cuffed her to the other bed and made me watch what he
Mm.
did there. So then by the time he got to me, see, it was a full, it wasn't just no molest with me. He went far with me
Mm.
at 8 years old.
8 years old.
Hmm. And he had to get a towel. And like he tore the towel and
Mm.
tied my hands because the cuffs wouldn't fit. Tied me to the back of the, like this, to the bed.
Mm.
I was just 8 years old, going on 9. That's the age of my grandbaby right now. So when I look at her and I
Mm.
see that 8 in her, I can't imagine. I'd rip somebody's head off if they play with her, my daughter.
Yes.
So I'm bleeding like crazy. I'm screaming, thinking I'm about to die. I'm a child. Blood just coming out. So I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All we were doing was crying and screaming and crying and screaming. And I remember somebody knocking on the door, but the music was loud. So this person still living today is the, like, Lord. He is my savior, my hero
Mm.
till this day. And he's still family friend. But
That's
he knew
beautiful.
something was wrong because he kept banging and my mom's car was outside. So by her car being out there, he knew we were in there. So I don't know. It had to be God that made him kick that door off the hinges. When he kicked that door off the hinges, he found, hang on, I got these pop-ups. Okay, he found us in the room like we were. He whipped his ass. He whipped Xavier's ass, the cousin. He put a hurting on him, something bad.
Thank goodness.
He got us loose. And I'm so scared and terrified. My mom gets loose. We run. We didn't have on no lick of clothing. No clothes. We ran for our life to the rental office, which is where the police were contacted. And as a result of that, my mom did what she had to do with court and everything. And he served all of his life in prison.
Oh,
but
thank goodness.
somehow, though, in Angola, he was in Angola.
Okay.
Somehow, I think he did over 40 years, 30 to 40 years in prison. So he got released on good time, right? He get released. There's another murder that was committed amongst his time being home. And they found him execution style. They found him also in a garbage bag. And the man had a execution style shotgun. And people were saying it was him, but my nanny and them, they made a fucking excuse for him, and they made a way for him to have been home when everybody know better. Everybody knows better. So when he got out on that good time, he was only out 2 years and had a heart attack. But he had threatened when he got out, and word got back to us that he wanted to get rid of me and my mom because of him being in prison for so long, because of us. Because of us.
Not because of his behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. It was because of us. So that's why I say people will say shit like that. That side of the family wasn't the immediate family. You know, that's my papa side of the family. So I didn't really get any therapy for that. I didn't really get any therapy at all for that. So I end up just being lost. I was lost for so long. I didn't trust nobody.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
During that time, though, you guys probably didn't really know nothing about therapy, because we wasn't taught therapy, and so we thought that was for those other people, and so y'all probably didn't even have an idea to want to go to therapy, especially with you being 8. And I just want to tell you that I'm so humbled by your story, and that's so sad, because your mom had to go through this with you and witness this, and you had to witness her. So I know y'all very close to this day, but that made y'all, I'm sure, even closer, because, we as parents, we want to do everything we can to protect our children.
Right.
But,
but
it's not our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not our fault when we can't. That's what I wanted to say, is people think that we will. We think we will, and we want to, but sometimes life circumstances happen, and it doesn't happen that way. But I just want to honor you and your mom for surviving and for you telling your story. So that's all I wanted to interject.
Thank you. And, so that's where the drinking and everything started coming in when I was older. But that was just the first time. There was also 2 other times. And those 2 other times, one, I didn't know my dad. I knew my dad by talking to him over the phone. So I was in his life that way. I knew he was my dad. So I'd come home and I look forward to talking to my dad on the phone. And I had never met my dad, but he ended up getting cirrhosis of the liver. So when he got cirrhosis of the liver, he called, and my grandmother called and said something about my dad had taken for the worse. They wasn't expecting him to live long. And so I remember my mom being like, no, they just want to kidnap you. And I was angry and I said, no, that's not the case. He's really sick. I want to go and see him. So she didn't let me. So the very, 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 very next day, we get the call that he died. And even the nurses, they were saying that his very last request, his words at the time of death was, I just want to meet my daughter.
Mm.
And that crushed me for so long. Like I was angry with my mom for that. So then I get to go up there. Finally, I get to go up there. And when I get there, his brother, my Uncle Tony,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sleeping on the sofa. Now, mind you, this is my first time meeting all my family on my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the sofa sleep with a little, you can make it a bed in the living room. And I'm on the little sofa sleeper, and he comes in. I hear him coming in. I automatically just got nervous because of what I've been through before. I get
Mm-hmm.
paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
So I automatically had gotten nervous, like real, real, real nervous. So he comes in and he sits on the bed. And I can't tell you how I froze. I
Mm.
was so scared. I didn't need like playing dead, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
I just got frozen and was scared to move. So he uses his hands and start to fondling me.
Mm.
Mhm. So I move, and when I move, he jumps up and he tries to head on out the back door
Mm-hmm.
because I moved, and he went out the back door. So the next day, I talked to my grandmother when we woke up that morning, and I told her what he had done, and he denied, of course, but my grandmother, they knew better.
Mm-hmm.
They knew better. So my brother, my big brother came in. I didn't know I had a brother, but I met him at that time too. That was my daddy's only other son. He finds out. I talked to him about it, and he put an ass whooping on Tony.
Oh, that was good.
Tore his ass up. He tore him up. My grandmother was screaming, almost passed out because she was this church lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nice little innocent, my grandmother, and I could see that tore her apart.
Yes.
That's not how things were supposed to go with me going to
Mm-hmm.
meet my family for the first time. So that's how that went. And then the others were just throughout the bad relationships and getting involved in, because you see, I didn't know how to look for
Yes.
anybody I dated, or uh getting physically abused, and because I didn't know what love was. I didn't know how to love
No
me
idea.
no more.
No
I
idea.
never knew how to love me. I
Mm-hmm.
turned to the drugs to back it, block shit. And then once I knew the doctor had diagnosed me with not cirrhosis, scoliosis. And I was in pain management, so I was getting all this pain medication. And once I realized, wow, this took my thoughts away. I had another type of energy, and that's how it became an addiction. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to block my pain,
Mm-hmm.
all the pain, the physical pain, the mental pain. I
Yeah.
was able to do that. And that took me on a path of destruction, self destruction, because I can't blame my family anymore. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
did. I had to be responsible now for the right and the wrongs that I did people wrong during that time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, out of anger. It was out of anger. I didn't feel nobody was there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was there for me. What you call the black sheep
Mm-hmm.
in the family. The black sheep in the family. People don't listen to you. And then when people do listen to you, they hear what they want to hear. They
Exactly.
don't hear
Brush you
what
off.
you really,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then you get people that come along and hear your story and they want to make you look bad from your own story.
Then you become the perpetrator and you are the victim, or you're re-victimized. It
Right.
becomes a joke.
Right.
And how can that be a running joke? It's mind-boggling that people can do that. But we we um we are resilient no matter
Mhm.
what. We didn't know that we didn't love ourselves. Where you turned to drugs, I turned
Yeah.
to the drug addict. So I lived the life on the other side of addiction.
Mhm.
I was the one that enabled the addict. And
Mhm.
I didn't know, but you lose yourself in that relationship
Oh
just
yeah.
like you. The
Oh yeah.
difference is I didn't get to get the pain taker awayer, because I
Yeah.
wasn't into drugs and drinking. I was trying to be a savior to somebody who couldn't save themselves. And in all honesty, I couldn't save me because when
Mhm.
I went through my molestation situation, and nobody's situation is exactly the same, but it
Right.
is equally as
Right.
devastating to the individuals.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
thank you for letting me interject that because I wanted to interject
Yeah.
that, but I certainly don't want you to stop talking.
Yeah. Thank you. So, with me, I went down a path of destruction with the drugs, not knowing what love is. So I ended up getting into relationships that turned abusive, um, not telling anyone, but I mean, look at my complexion. At
Hmm.
first, they start hitting me, I bruise fast.
Hmm.
So they start figuring that shit out that, okay, now the licks went from being visible to being invisible because I was getting hit in the places that nobody would see.
In your body, yeah,
Yeah, in my body,
yeah.
body shots, and on the floor where you in a ball because you scared somebody's gonna mess your face up, so you hurdle, and
Hmm.
then I'm still getting kicked while I'm down. And you know what the motherfucker saying, Toothless? Look what you made me do.
Mm. Famous
Look
words.
what you made me do.
Hmm.
That's what the nigga said.
Famous words.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to be doing this, but you made me do this. Look what you
Mm.
made me do.
Famous words, very familiar.
To bring a plate, we ate, and because I didn't want to bring the damn plate to the kitchen, before I could say it, I didn't pop right in the face.
Mm.
Right in the face. When I say abuse, this dude was going to take me out. He was going to take me out too. This I knew it.
Mm.
I went to my grandparents' house. Back then, we had the phone lines, the landline
Hmm.
phone.
Hmm.
We never, ever, ever, ever had I still remember that phone number today. He never had my grandmother's phone number. Ain't that something? I still just thought of the number. Never. And all of a sudden, Toothless, that phone rang. And my mama called me to the phone. So I get to the phone. I get to the phone and I hear his voice.
Mm.
I was so scared because I'm like, how you found me? How did you find me?
Mm.
You ain't gonna be able to run away. I know where you at. I know where you are, and I'm gonna get you.
Mm.
Because you see what happened that brought the argument on. I was roommating with this chick. It doesn't matter the race, white girl, but it don't matter. The bitch was dirty. She was a dirty bitch. So when
Hmm.
I moved in with her, she had too much company back and forth. And I didn't like that. So one day I come home from work and my TV in my room was gone. Gone. So I'm ready to move out. I didn't like the area. I'm ready to move on out now.
Hmm.
So because she thought that I was ditching her and leaving her, back then the rent was only $340. That's how long ago this was.
Okay.
$340 rent. So when we get there, she's on the phone telling him I'm moving out because I found like another guy that I'm dealing with, that I'm seeing now. And he believed her, but she was trying to get back at me
She's
because I
lying.
was, yeah. So they must have had planned they talk all day. I called one of my cousins, told her come help me get my stuff and bring me to my grandmother's. So she comes, but then we get another knock on the door. I'm upstairs packing my stuff. I don't know what's going on. Toothless, before I could say anything, Joe came up them stairs and he cocked back and hit me and punched me in my face so hard. I literally flew off my feet into the back of the closet, inside of the closet.
Oh my.
Because I had the door open getting my stuff. That's the one that kicked me in while I was down on the ground in the living room. He just
look what you made me do.
My hair was super long, my real hair. So he drags me to the kitchen and tosses me up on the stove, like made me get up there. And he's looking me in my face and he's telling me, look what you made me do. All I saw was the devil. Look what you made me do. And then after the third one, he hit my ass again and I fall off the damn stove. So Trinette's upstairs now. My cousin's upstairs. She's so scared. She ain't never been through no shit like that. So she don't know what to do because he looked at her and told her, you won't get it too. So she was upstairs. But when I was down on that ground and he started kicking me hard, I just screamed. I started screaming her name. So she comes running down and said, mind you, the bitch that set all this up is upstairs in her room with the door locked. Okay. Yeah. So I screamed for Trinette. Trinette comes down, running down the stairs. And he didn't, the other girl, because she knew at this point, I kept saying, call the police. Get the phone and call the police. So she, the chick, the roommate came down and she said, you got to go. Like, the cops on their way. You got to go. This is what she's telling him.
Telling him this. Okay.
You got to go. I done got my ass kicked for about 20, 30 minutes. But now he got to go. So guess what? He left. And I don't know what made her think she was good. Because when we went up them stairs, Trinette bust that door open because she had it locked. And we tore her ass apart. I might have to fight him.
At least you got some distance.
At least you got some somebody that day. And I did. So when the police came, self-defense, they saw me. I was all bruised up and everything. And I'm thinking, because she's a white girl, they're going to go to sway more to her side than mine. But it wasn't like that. They swayed more to me, trying to get me medical attention, one of them even asked me, you want us to bring you where you got to go? And a friend of my mom was on his way to come and get me. So they drove around, though, to make sure that car, because I told him what car, but he might have not even been in that car, Toothless. He might have not even have been in that car, come to think of it. So anyway, I moved to, my mom and them sent me off to Nashville, Tennessee to be with my uncle to get away from New Orleans during that time. So I stayed up there. Then it was time for me to come back. He was on the front page of the newspaper. Back then we got newspapers. So he was on the front of the newspaper. Somebody had done shot and killed him. So I remember that. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I ask God about that every day because I be thinking in my head, like, am I wrong for being so happy that a man got killed? Yeah. To me, I feel like you damn right. I'm happy this nigga dead. Because if it wasn't going to be him dead, it was going to be
you. Yeah. Yeah.
It was going to be me.
Yeah. You didn't wish no death on him. You didn't cause his death. You know, you just got news of the death.
baby, that was the worst day other than them other days. So it's like my life just been on a up and down spiral for so many years that now that I found me and I found my sobriety, is and I keep telling people I've been through hell. Guns put in my face by a cop,
Mm.
by a cop. And
You
then
have a
there's a cop
purpose.
that,
You
huh?
have a purpose and you're walking in it.
Yeah.
So nothing was going to stop your purpose.
And that's why I keep telling everybody, y'all keep trying to break me and it won't happen. It's not going to happen. I lost my son, the most important part of my life. And I didn't break and go backwards for his death because I want to continue to make him happy and proud of his mother. So
Yes.
if I didn't break when I lost my son,
Mm.
you make a stranger think they're going to break me.
Tell the truth now.
Ain't nobody do that.
Tell the truth.
I should have been broken. I should have been dead through everything I went through.
But he didn't see fit to let none of that be.
None of it.
Every day by the power. Keep on keeping me.
That's right.
Yeah, you can just say thank you. I say to the source for
Yeah.
all that the source has done for me
Yeah.
and is doing for me. This is so powerful. Now the video is being flagged. I got cousin that's way in another city popped up on his phone that they're going to remove this video if they find the content to violate the rules. It is
What
so
would
sad.
violate?
I don't have an idea, and I don't think we have that to worry about. It's just so sad how we
That's
want
sad.
to.
So somebody literally trying to take your video down.
Yeah, we're really trying to help our people because we don't know how many people are going through what we've gone through just at this moment in time. And again, for craziness sake, and he has nothing to, he don't know anything about this. He just sent me a picture saying, "Look what popped up on my phone." Just popped
Wait,
up.
who did that?
It's my cousin.
Oh,
So yeah, but it's amazing how somebody is trying to take the video down.
wow.
It didn't pop up on mine, but
Well, I
I'm
don't understand why, because you see, I've been on hey Angelina baby, and hey to everybody in the
salute.
chat. I'm sorry I didn't speak to
No,
anybody.
speak if you see your people. Yeah, salute.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're here.
I see them coming.
Yeah.
It's sad because I went on Sinetta's and I did the same exact thing. He didn't have nobody did that to him. I went on 10 Toes Down twice. He wanted me up there twice to do it at different times. I told my story there. Nobody tried to do that to them. So it's got to be somebody who don't want this
Yeah.
to happen.
They didn't want this to happen, period. So I'm just so glad that you are a woman of integrity, as am I, and that
If
we
if I
wanted
say
this
I'm gonna do
story to get
something,
out.
I
Yeah,
do it. You know,
yeah.
whatever's going on, I'll still speak on that later on. But for the most part, I'm over all of it.
Yeah.
I'm over all of it. I mean, what's he gonna do? Keep elaborating on the same. What is that gonna do? And I'm not gonna take that and let that do mixed up with this that we're trying to do that's positive.
I'm so glad because when I, saw the thing that came out,
Yeah, my
one moment.
title.
Yeah, one moment. Let me
Okay.
answer this.
What's up, y'all? I came over. I had to come over because I made this date, and my subscribers, my family, y'all already know that if I say I'm gonna do something and it's to help other people, I'm gonna do it. So
Oh,
whatever else is going on, that's something going on there. But if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
I'm so happy about that because when I read it, I was thinking, well, what happened? And then you know, and the way it was written, not to contact you. And I'm like, oh my God. So I thought maybe that, you know, you just wasn't going to come because of that. But, you know, as I explained to you, I really didn't come for no issues or nothing when you contacted me. And that's what I say at the beginning of this video. I went on an hour earlier to let these people know that I don't know why everybody on the internet is coming after a 63-year-old woman who just want to uplift her people, but they must do what they must do. But I stand strong. I'm not going nowhere. If everybody want to come on at the time I'm on, do whatever you do. I have a few people that are committed to me, and I'm grateful. I have the least amount of numbers than anybody. I'm grateful. You've been nothing but honorable to me. I don't know you don't know me, but we know each other by our character. That's how you know people, because you can live with people and love them and take care of them and think that they're doing the same with you, and they're not doing that. So I am just grateful that you did, and you are who you say. See, you're like me. You are who you say you are. And when you see that, you can talk about me, you can laugh at me, you can talk about my bald head, my no teeth, my big ass. And you can do all of that. I'm not going to respond to any of that. I'm not going to dip in that. But I didn't know what had happened from when we talked last, you know, and when I seen that, and I only told you that based on the fact when you were telling me what had happened, you know. And so I would have never told you that. Number one, the reasons I wouldn't have, because we didn't have that type of relationship. And so why would I tell you that if I would have told you that before that date?
But you see,
I would have been
this is the thing with me. I feel like at this point, the only thing I was going to touch down with is that it was still done. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something.
Right.
3 years ago, I cursed out. Listen, 3 years ago, this guy, now my son had died April 2020. There's a guy on here. I kept telling him me and him were beefing. I kept telling him, he kept thinking I was in his comment section. And I wasn't. I don't do that. I don't go in people's shit trolling and typing. My nerves don't do that type of shit. I'd rather come up here and tell anybody what I got to say on live. So he would be okay. And then the next minute, he dragging my son, my deceased son. He dragging him again, dragging me again. So I went in about his 3-year-old little girl. I said some shit about the little girl. I was about to mess up again. It's called a girl name. But Toothless, nobody's child is better than mine.
Tell the truth, not to you.
Not to me. And I lost one. So you still have your 3-year-old. I don't have mine. And y'all keep on lying on him, talking about the man. He's gone. So yeah, I fired off on the ass. You understand?
Yes.
My point is saying that is that even with this, out here, well, that was a while ago. That was 2 months ago. That 3-year-old shit, they keep fucking bringing up all the time when they get a chance. They'll throw that shit in my face on what I did 3 years ago. So if I could fucking speak on that 3 years ago and y'all keep fucking doing it, then I'm going to speak on what happened 2 months ago.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes. Yeah, I just didn't want to
what happened 2 months ago. And to me, it's I don't mean you may have had other, me and you may have had other topics, right? Maybe you could have told me, but maybe you didn't think about it, like I said, until we were talking about mods and shit, and not in no gossiping way.
Exactly.
You weren't gossiping. You know, it was about just trusting people.
That's right. It
was just about trying to, watch who you trust.
And the reason I did not
felt that way, but then it's not that she even sent she sent the video, but it's not.
But she took it.
It's that she
took it
and thought about doing malicious shit with it.
Yeah,
that's what hurt me. You thought about doing it. You thought to do it. I don't give a fuck if she didn't do it. You thought to do it. So it ain't about when, how long ago. It's not about that. It's that you would think to do something like that to me.
Yes. And that's what hurt me, because
that's how I feel.
My thing was
and I'm gonna tell you, I don't not like Southern Gotti.
I don't not like her either.
I don't like her. I like her.
Liking somebody has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, with
See, I don't
respect.
have a beef with her either. And so that really concerned me, because what happened to us happened, and that was her choice. I'm not angry at her because she didn't choose to side with me. I don't have a side. I was attacked, and I was innocently attacked. So there are no sides. But
Yeah,
whatever you decide as an adult, you have that right.
yeah,
But for her to fashion it like that, and then the way I read what you said, it's like, I didn't call you, and I didn't come up with this. We wasn't gossiping, we wasn't talking. But had I told you any time before then, because my allegiance was to her. I've
right.
known her since
And see,
February.
that's
And
what I
that's
said.
why
Like
I didn't
your
say
allegiance
anything.
to her. So I had to question whether or not, okay, well, if y'all wasn't mad, I don't think you would have told me anything.
I wouldn't have.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
now, and I look at that. I know you wouldn't have told me. So yeah, I do think that a lot of it has to do too with the fact that you and her, I think that your feelings are hurt with her.
No, no, this happened a while back. So no, that wasn't it. No, now I don't have an allegiance to her. That's all that is. Because see, if I felt like that
Yeah.
when she did what she did to me, I'd have called and told you, or I'd have, put it in the inbox. I didn't do any of that. I honored whatever it was, and it was over. But when you told me about having to take her wrench, then that gave me the opportunity to tell you. I wouldn't have, if you'd have never told me that, you still wouldn't know, because it wasn't nothing for me to tell you at that time. It
Well, the
wasn't your
thing too
business.
is that if I would have never said that I had the video, I don't believe that she would have ever even told me the truth about sending it to you.
Yeah, she wouldn't
So,
have.
but I mean, she's not here to defend herself, so I'm not even
And we
going to
don't
speak
need her
on
to
it
be, because
because
we're
this
not
is
talking
something
about her.
totally different. So I don't want to turn this positive into a negative
No,
situation. I'm
I
just
just
saying,
wanted to honor you for doing what you said and
yeah,
letting you know what you wrote. This is
yeah,
how I feel about it. But no,
yeah,
we're in a very good place. And I know that we're helping somebody, more
yeah,
than one somebody.
yeah.
And you were telling your story. And
Yeah, and
so,
I do that because, and I even have people that have my number. I got a number for my strictly for my YouTubers, and when they call it, they speak to me. I've never
yes.
not answered nobody's call, even if I'm working.
Hmm.
They'll call. I'll see the different area codes. I'll answer the phone.
That
But
means a
when I'm
lot.
working, I'll answer and I'll still let them know, look, I'm working right now. They'll tell me who they are, subscribers such and such, and I'll call them back at my earliest convenience. And then I'll see what they want. So I do a lot of interacting
Hmm.
with my subscribers. I leave everything open for them, to be able to
Hmm.
reach me. If I don't show, it could be 5 minutes late, they hit me up instantly. Like, you okay? And that's the type of family I have with
Hmm.
my subscribers, you know, and they there. They keep me motivated. They don't care about people. Well, yeah, King do. King don't like people that come at Miss 504. But it's to be expected. And like I said, I don't have anything against Southern Gotti at all. It just disappointed me that that took place and that she even thought about it. I don't care about nothing else.
Hmm.
It's the thought for me that did it, just to
Okay.
even think to do that to me. She sent the video, she admitted that, but I don't think at that point, when I say, if I would have never said I had the video, I don't believe she would have ever told me that she
Yeah.
sent it to you, because she could have told me that when she called me that day, but she didn't.
Hmm.
So, like I said, it happened, it's over with, and I'm just moving on. I'm just gonna keep doing what I
That's the
do,
way that's the way grown
keep
people
doing
do
what I
it,
do. You learn something every day. That's all. I
Yes.
just write it down in the book of learning. You
Yes,
understand?
yes. That's what grown people do.
Learn
You
every day. Yeah.
talk it out, and
And
you
you
move on.
and
Yeah,
you move on. And that's
with
why
no
I chose to
animosity.
still do this. Because I
Yes.
could have been mean and mad, and I'm not going over there and fuck with all that. No, this is an important topic,
I'm so
and that's
glad.
what I'm about, trying to talk about things to get people to when they email me. Even when I spoke on drugs, Miss 504, I thank you so much,
Hmm.
because I was dealing with the same thing, and I don't know how to confront the issue. So long as I'm doing that to help people, I'm cool.
Yes,
I'm
and
good.
I'm grateful that like I said, that you reached out, because this is really going on in our neighborhoods, and our children don't know what to do with this.
They don't.
Some parents don't know what to do with it because it happened to them and they never got the proper help that they needed, and they
Right.
don't know how to deal with it. Some of them, like myself, you were not here for my story, but my story, it didn't involve any penetration, but I was molested nonetheless, because my brother used, and mine was my oldest brother, and he used my vaginal area to masturbate. So,
Yeah.
I could do like you did. I could smell the bleach when he was
Yeah.
cleaning me up. I
Yeah.
could hear the toilet paper rolling. And I was sitting up looking at a Western movie with my husband. I was 19 years old when it came to me, because what he would do to me is, at night when everybody was asleep, my mom and dad was at home, and
Mhm.
all of my siblings, he would come get me out the bed and take me to the bathroom like I needed to go to the bathroom. So
Mhm.
everybody was asleep. So who can I blame? Nobody, because how can they know? I
Right.
didn't know until I was 19 looking at a Western, and I had an
Mhm.
out of body experience. And I
Wow.
seen all of this happening to me. And I told my oldest sister, and she just cried. And we
Mhm.
ran to my mom, and my mom didn't know how to process it, but she believed me. She
Mhm.
didn't know how to process it, but she believed me. And then we
Mhm.
confronted him, and he was
Yeah.
in grave denial, because he was an alcoholic and a drug addict at this time, not doing that time, but at this time.
Right.
And I am a person that believes in therapy. So I went to incest recovery, and then I went to therapy. And when I
Mhm.
had my child, my second husband was, well, his father, we were never together, but he was that alcoholic that you had that used to
Mhm.
jump on me. And
Mhm.
he used to beat me, and I wouldn't tell people.
Mhm.
My cousin was over there. Your story is so similar to mine. My
Mhm.
cousin was over to my house. My grandmother was real ill in the hospital, and
Mhm.
my mom and her siblings, they were all like on a three-way call. And so I had just come from shopping with his
Mhm.
best friend's wife and my cousin. We come in, and I'm talking to my mom and the people that were on the phone,
Mhm.
and it was like he had signaled his friend that he was going to do something. I don't know, but the next thing I know, he said something to me, and I spoke back, and he hit me so damn hard. You flew into the closet. How
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how about getting hit so hard that you fly into a leather sofa and it falls over with you, because that's how hard you got hit. My cousin
Damn.
was so nervous, and my cousin is a fighter. She and her boyfriend used to get into it. She would fight his little old butt, okay? But
Mhm.
she was so nervous when she
Mhm.
ran out the house and jumped in her car crying, and she hit his car trying to get out. And I couldn't tell anybody that. And when he used to fight me, uh,
Mhm.
I used to, I didn't never fight back. So I would
Mhm.
purposely, like you said, you on the
Yeah.
ground, I would purposely cover my face
Yeah.
so that it
Yeah.
wouldn't be in my face, and I would get beat. And that's why I was telling you about the body
Yep.
blows. That happened to me. And we need to share this with young women, because oftentimes we take things that we don't even realize we don't have to take. We don't have to
And
take
that's true.
this treatment.
That's true.
We don't feel we have options, because who can you tell? When you tell people, they talk about you like you're crazy, and
That's
why don't
right.
you stay, and
That's
why
right.
don't you just leave? It's not that easy.
That's
It would
right.
be nice if we could just leave, but it's not that
It's not.
easy.
It's really
It's
not.
not. It's not.
And,
So,
and, and that's all you know because that's all you become accustomed to, you know,
yes, yes, yes,
and no outlet. If you don't have an outlet to vent and let that pain out, it's gonna destroy you like it did with me.
yes.
You know, I had to learn to stop playing victim though. I had
Mm,
to move
okay.
past it. And my aunt, I never forget when she talked to me and said, you know, at some point I have to forgive because that's what God wants. I have to forgive, but for the longest I couldn't forgive. And
Hmm.
it's hard for me to even say I forgive with the wrong that he did. It's hard for me to even say that type of shit. I can't do that yet. I'm not there yet with forgiveness. But I know one thing. I'm stronger than ever.
Yes.
I know that. I'm way
Because of
stronger
that.
than
Yes.
ever. Hmm.
Yes. And nothing nobody here can do can break me.
No.
Yeah,
Anybody
so
gonna
this
do
little
nothing.
stuff that's going on, the little games, the content that people
Yeah.
need and want, I don't care about any of that. I
Mm-mm.
came here to share my life, my
Mm-hmm.
story, and my journey on I found out for me who we were
Mm-hmm.
before we were slaves. Nothing is
Mm-hmm.
going to deter that.
Mm-hmm.
I only get on here to address people when I know they're blatantly lying on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not doing it for the YouTube people because I know they don't give a damn. I
Right.
do it for the people in the world that watches me.
That
I do it for
watches.
my
Right.
brothers and sisters that watch
Right.
me, my family, my loved ones, my cousin
Mm-hmm.
here, my
Mm-hmm.
son, if he should happen to watch. And my
Mm-hmm.
son told me about YouTube and the things that can happen. And he asked me, "Are you sure you're ready for that?"
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, "Yeah, I am." But I didn't have a clue what I was getting myself into, but I know now. And I
Mm-hmm.
can officially say I'm a YouTuber. I must be. And as I stated, and the only reason why I brought any of the other up, because when you go back and watch the beginning, if you should watch the
Yeah.
beginning, you need to understand what I was saying, because I do not come from a bad place on any of this. I
Right.
just came from who I am, and I live
Mm-hmm.
and walk in my integrity, and you showed me the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I see in
Yeah.
you. And like I
I
said,
said, and I
yeah,
said, she probably thinking I'm not gonna show up. That's why I came in the comments. I'm like, give me a second. I'm trying to get everything together. And I did, because this is something that I don't play around with, and people
yes,
see that I go hard on Hassan because of that. It's because I know different with him. You're using that just as a crutch. That's
mm-hmm,
your, that's what you use to manipulate the people. And
yes,
that's why I stay on him, because it's people like him that makes it hard for people that are going through molestation. They don't know how to come about. He makes it seem like you can be molested, you can come to YouTube, tell your story, and get rich
mm-hmm.
or die trying. You understand?
And it doesn't
So
work
that's
like that.
yeah, no, it don't work like that. And that's the reason why I'm on that ass the way I
Yes.
am.
Well, that makes sense now, because I didn't understand any of
Yeah.
that. It's a lot of people I don't watch and I don't really know what's going
Mm-hmm.
on. So if
Mm-hmm.
somebody don't send me something or tell me, I have no clue. And
Hey,
like I
Eve.
said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, we all came together
Mm-hmm.
because of one person, that's Kwame Brown. So I feel like this was the bus life sector. But when
Mm-hmm.
it had the split and we start making decisions to choose or whatever, we
Mm-hmm.
still came with our message. We still
Right.
had content. We
Right.
came because of him, but it's not him. It was
That
that
really,
I think
yeah.
that I think he just encouraged us and made us step out on what we already
Yeah.
knew that
Right.
we had to do. It's a purpose in your life.
Because like he said, like KB said, he said, his own words was, I've given you all the platform. It's
Yes.
up to you to
What
go
you do
ahead
with it.
and keep your platform running.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what I chose to do, you know.
And
And I
like I
stay on Hassan's ass. I
and I'm
stay
glad
on
to
it.
know that's what it's about, because I never really knew,
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's
Mhm.
because he uses that shit lightly and he throws it around, and then he'll joke on his lives and he'll tell the guys are 10 toes down. He wanna F him and want his mouth to be doing all of this to 10 toes down. You understand? And to me, they got people looking, they got children watching, teenagers watch. We don't know. We can't control what people let their kids do and watch. But
That's
at the
right.
same time, molestation is not about all he's making it seem like. You
No,
don't come on here and talk about molestation and use it to get rich. You
no.
don't do that when you know deep down inside that it was never even molestation.
Yes, it's
It's
devastating.
not. I can't say 100%, but from all I know on his ass is no, that's not the case. That's not the
Mm,
case. And
mm.
he knows, and that's why I'm like I'm the worst nightmare of his.
Okay.
But he could tell me something, I'd shoo away. It didn't work like that.
Hmm.
It didn't work like that. I'm here. And when I believe in certain things, I go after what I believe in.
That's it. And you have to stand in that,
Yeah.
because that's your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's like I said about Uncle Suge. A lot of people just act like he's just beating up on Kwame. No, he has been. If you read his book, he has been fighting corruption in corporations in this world. This is just a part of it. He is truly true to who he say he is, and he shows us that with his works. And it's him, because of him, that we were even able to come together, because you were able to see me and hear the story and wanted to share. And I was so honored, and I am so honored that you did what I think all YouTubers should do that's bigger than me. And that is, you said you were willing to come to my platform and share your story. A lot of bigger YouTubers want you up and coming to come to their stage, but you said you were willing to come here and share, and that really made me feel good. If you know nothing about me, I have people here that know me all my life. That means the world to me, because coming from that molestation, making wrong choices, mine was drug addicts I was trying to use. So I used them like a drug or alcohol because I was trying to save them. But coming from that, you learn that in forgiveness, Selena said it a moment ago, forgiveness is not for them. It's for you, because you carry that pain, you carry that energy, and it eats away at who you are. So once you can forgive you, then all else is okay. You don't, I learned in the rooms of AA, and I shared this. I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, not because I was an alcoholic, but because Al-Anon, those women were so fake, and it was so much pain in those rooms. And I was hurting. I needed help. And so in AA, I saw people who had hit rock bottom come in and tell their story. And then they became, great people, whoever they were meant to be. And so having seen that and said that, you learn that when you make amends, sometimes you may never speak to the person you make amends to.
Right.
It can be the change of your attitude toward that person, because you don't want to hurt the person or open up Pandora's box.
Right.
And sometimes that's what happens. But it's not about you. You're being selfless when you forgive. People don't understand that. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you. And
you're right. And that's what I did. I made a list of a lot of people who, during my journey through, it was a journey, through an evil journey. The whole time, Toothless, I battled drugs over 30 years. Over 30 years. You understand? And let me tell you this. And a reflection of the horrible. Yes, Angelina.
Most definitely.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. It played a big ass part in all of that.
That is the part. You know how they say that part? That is the part.
That's the only part, And the shit, I forgot what I was just saying, because I had to read that.
Yeah, it was deep.
Yeah.
But you was talking about you battled drugs for 30 years.
Over 30 something years. So, okay. When I discovered that I could numb myself from the pain that I felt, that was damn near the worst thing ever. Because an addict goes through a phase. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to be an addict today. You know what I'm saying? You don't wake up and do that. It comes with a period of being consistent with taking the drug. Now, once you're consistent with taking the drugs, you realize when you run out and you get sick that you have a habit. See, you don't, even if you don't see it or feel it with even the first year, first 3 months, first 30 days, anything you do excessively with your body, you become immune to it. So you can say you can snort coke. You can snort coke for 30 days, and now that's your thing now. It's in your system that good, that deep. So that's something you're battling with. Now, that devastated damn near everything around me. I isolated myself. I didn't want to be around my family members because I didn't want them to look and notice it. But they knew. And that's crazy. They knew. I'm thinking they don't know. They knew. I'm thinking that they knew. My mom was like, yeah, well, I know. I know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I am. I can look after almost 30 years of battling that demon. I can look at anybody right now and let you know exactly what's going on with you in that
Mm-hmm.
area, whether
Mm-hmm.
you on it now or whether you not. I know. I know.
And that's the therapeutic value.
Yeah.
That's why Alcoholics Anonymous was founded on the basis
Yeah.
they said to go to church to save your soul, but you
Yeah.
come to AA to save yourself from being
Yeah.
addicted to the alcohol. So it's
Yeah.
for sobriety, and the therapeutic value is one
Hmm.
alcoholic helping another because you all
Exactly.
know and you can present
Exactly.
understand. I see Ryan joined us back. Ryan was our special guest. He's a young man
Oh,
that was
okay.
sexually abused, and he shared his story. So, Ryan, we
Okay.
had talked earlier, and we had talked about how it doesn't just affect us as the victim; it affects the whole family and the dynamic. So, you
Mhm.
can, kind of give Miss 504 a little bit of what you shared, if you'd like, and then speak to that because I like that
Yes.
subject.
Oh, hey, Miss 504, how you doing?
Hi, how are you, babe?
Doing good. Appreciate you coming up here, sharing your story. I was listening.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, just I don't want to brush over everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you a quick rundown. But basically I was being dropped off at a family member's house as an 8, 9 year old, and I was being molested by my uncle's wife's daughter. And
Mm-hmm.
I just told the panel or the chat and Miss Toothless that the environment at home made me
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable saying something. And as much as we like to think it don't affect us, when you get older, you start to
Mm-hmm.
see, you just be able to look back at some of the patterns and decisions you made. You can
Right.
link it back to the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's all. I want to let y'all rock out though. This ain't about me.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
we just love, love, love. I told you, I just think it takes so much courage, and especially
Mm-hmm.
for a man to be able to admit, because we have so many men that we think that they're macho men or they're alpha men or beta men, whatever they call in men these days. But a lot
Yeah.
of them are just hurting little boys,
Yeah.
and they were
That's
molested
going through it.
and they didn't deal with it like through counseling and didn't get the proper help. People don't believe you. They tend to shrug you off. And
I'll put
just to
up
hear a
that
man,
wall.
yeah, hear a man tell his
Mm-hmm.
truth and
Mm-hmm.
finding yourself going to counseling, that
Mm-hmm.
can free so many people who don't quite know what's wrong with them, but they know it's something, because sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
suppress it so bad
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to face it. Like
Oh
in
yeah.
my case, being at night in the bed, I had no clue that any of that was happening, until
Yeah.
it manifested.
Yeah.
Imagine you going through what you going through, the different
Girl.
times and how traumatic it was. You are literally you know how we hear about walking miracles, a walking miracle, and I guess
Yeah.
we all could say about something,
Yeah.
but what you have endured and where you have come is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And this story needs to be told everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
anybody who's going through something. And you know how they said you think you're going through something, just hear somebody else's story.
Mm-hmm.
That kind
And
of what helps you stay sane.
I saw a question from, I think, Smoke a Lot.
Uh-huh.
His question was, what was the drug of choice when
Mm-hmm.
I was a teenager? I started my addiction off taking Vicodin,
Mm,
hydrocodone. That was the pills of choice at that time.
mm,
Yeah, at that time. Now, my family were there to help me, but I wasn't ready, obviously,
yeah.
because I would relapse. I would relapse. I would relapse. But I had to get myself together. I wanted to feel what it was, Toothless, to be sober. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew what it was to be sober. I never had a sober fucking day.
Mm,
I spent all my days looking and chasing. You
mm,
understand?
mm-hmm.
Even though I would work, you just what they call a functional addict.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go to work, but
Mm,
I'm still popping them pills. You know what I'm saying? And I just got tired. Now, this gonna sound a little crazy, but when I went to the club life, I used to work and dance in the clubs and shit.
Hmm.
When I went into that life, that's when a lot of the things started going up in
Okay.
drug choice. The pills,
Okay.
it went from the pills to the coke because you're a dancer, you want to dance all night. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You up.
Hmm.
So when I went home one time and I looked at myself in the mirror, girl, I saw a skeleton.
Mm.
And then when I left it, I stopped doing it. I didn't need no help for some reason with that.
Mm.
I didn't need no help dealing with getting off of that. No effects from it, no none of that. Only thing I did was ate a lot, so I gained all that weight back ASAP. That,
Good.
that
Good.
was it, you know.
Hmm.
But then when you go to that certain one, that real demon, and I know people know what the real demon is. The real demon was the heroin.
Okay. Yeah. Smoke a lot has said about heroin addiction.
But
He's saying some good stuff.
the thing too, smoke a lot. I was never an injector. I'm scared of needles. I
Hmm.
don't even like getting IVs. So yeah, I would and you know, Toothless, it became so to the point where as if I ran out of the medications,
Uh-huh.
I would start doctor shopping or I would start hospital shopping. So I would go to
Okay.
one hospital and tell them because they never can tell you your back ain't hurting.
Exactly.
Use your back. So I use my scoliosis.
Okay.
And I would go there and get the medicine or get IV'd and they'd give me Dilaudid and all of that kind of shit. So it was right up my alley until I went one day and they had this black doctor there and I'll never forget his name. His name is Stevens, Dr. Stevens. And
Hmm.
he was the doctor that did the most for me to try to turn my life around.
Okay.
But when I PEC'd to when he PEC'd me, I still wasn't ready. So I'm gonna go because you PEC me, but I'm not. But addiction, you have to be ready. You do.
Yes. Yes.
You do. It ain't gonna work if you doing it for your children, for your husband. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna
That's true.
last. You gotta
That's
be
true.
tired, and I'm tired. I'm 51. I never knew how good this feel to be sober. I used to look at all y'all normal motherfuckers and can't hated y'all. I did. I was mad with y'all for being sober.
uh, isn't that something?
I really was. I was mad with y'all for being sober because I wanted that. I wanted that day. I wanted to have just one day to feel sober. And now look, when I went in there, I was 96 pounds.
Mm.
I weigh right now 152 pounds.
How old were you when you went in there?
Well, fuck, which time? Because this time was 2 years, 3 years ago. It's going on
Okay.
4 years in February.
Okay.
Next year, February would be 4 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Rachel, would you like to join us? If you would, I'll drop the link. Um, I've been reading your comments, and this is why we're here to, help give you comfort
Oh,
and
that's my
encouragement and
sub, huh?
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's
Rachel's another one who hit me up too. And we talk.
Oh, that's beautiful. But
Mhm.
if you'd like to come up, you can just let me know and I'll be more than happy to let you join us because it's all about what we can do to help each other. We're so much more alike than we are not alike.
Right.
And I think that when we start realizing that and realize that we got an enemy much bigger than
Right.
the confusion we're causing each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah. All the
we
time.
all, yeah, we all need to be working on the same goals in the same direction, and that is to uplift people and let them know that there is hope.
There
Look
is
at
hope.
us. You know,
There
that
is
is
hope.
something that you can do to turn your life around. Now, like Miss 504 said, you've got to do it. Nobody can work it for you.
And you know what? I
Mm-hmm.
had to leave everything Toothless. First, I had to realize I had a problem. I denied that I had a problem for years. I didn't want to admit that I was an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go through all of that and you make amends with the people, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was ready. And even when I go to my doctor and they do my blood work, and when they do my, you know, how you do your urine test, they never find anything. They never find nothing in me. And he's amazed because a lot of people just don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But I was tired. I
Sick and
was
tired
tired
of
of
being
being
sick and
broke.
tired.
I was tired of not having nowhere to go. I was tired of not being able to be around my family. Couldn't be around my grandbaby. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My children never gave up on me. That was the love and the motivation that I needed.
Mm.
And thus I quit, not because of them, but I quit for myself.
Yes.
Couldn't do it no more. And I'm happy. I ain't never had this much laughter in my life being sober. I'm so serious. I'm learning things about me I didn't even know.
and you're
You
so
know?
beautiful
Yeah.
inside and
Yeah.
out. I'm talking just the see when you can share,
Yeah.
and I call it getting naked and not ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
When you can do that, with the universe, then you can do that with anybody,
Anybody.
and you can stand in your truth, no
That's
matter
right.
what it is. It means so
That's
much,
right.
boy. And just to hear you tell that story, it's just it's really like awesome. It's mind blowing, to be real honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're here to tell it is the beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
reading and hearing about it. You're here to tell it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that means the world
Yeah.
to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hopefully
mean,
somebody will see this and it'll help them.
I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure they will. They'll see it. This was a good live, a real good live. And I wanted to thank you too, for still allowing me to come up
Oh yes, ma'am.
and speak. I'm glad I came because it's important, and I want to do anything I can to help others.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care about how people try to beat me up on here,
Mm-hmm.
try to, use everything I say against me, my story,
Mm-hmm.
like they live my life. They have no clue. They really have no clue what my life is and how happy I am. You understand?
Oh,
There's
that's
nothing that
beautiful.
nobody can do to break me, and I'm gonna let them keep. I'm gonna let them keep trying.
Yes.
Keep on trying. It
We
ain't
got
gonna
to keep coming back. We got to keep coming
happen.
back. And if you ever have anything that you want me to be a part of,
Yeah.
I'm willing to be a part of it, because I know that you, like I, are about solutions.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about life issues. We all have
Hmm.
them, and we all
Hmm.
hurt. A lot of people, I really don't really like that saying, but some say it's true. Hurt people hurt people. That's not always true,
That's
you
not
know.
always true at
But
all.
what we do know is, if you're hurting, there's a way to stop, but you got to
Yeah.
take responsibility.
Let's take
And that's the same
responsibility.
I say about YouTube. What I try to share with people, the first word in YouTube is you. So
Hmm.
you make it work however
That's
you
right.
need it to work for you.
And that's what I try to say, tell people too.
Hmm.
Don't let YouTube make you.
Hmm.
You gotta make YouTube.
Tell the
When
truth.
you let YouTube make you, and you see so many of these young black men, toothless, that can really be out here doing the footwork, that got bigger platforms than
Hmm.
us, way
Yes.
bigger, where they can really reach the young boys,
Yes.
the ladies, they can really reach the young girls, you know. But nobody does that. But everybody want to point the finger about everybody else on here and talk about all of us, each other, all day long.
Hmm.
But no, I didn't want to do that today. I wanted to make sure I came over here and stick to what I said I was going to do.
I tell you, and I'm so when I keep saying I'm honored and all that shit, you just don't know how real it is because,
Mhm.
like I said, these people don't really know what you go through in your real life. But I'm one of those people, you either
Mhm.
love me for real or you don't like me at all. It's
Exactly.
no in between with me, and I'm
Exactly.
brutally honest. And then that bothers people.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
we're the people like they call us leak agents, where people feel comfortable talking to us and they tell us their deepest secrets, and then they get ashamed and then
Mhm.
they shy away and don't want to be around you. It's not nothing that you did. It's
Mhm.
basically how the people feel, about what they've done. Because here they done told a total stranger, all this shit. But I say that's the best person to tell because you don't
Right.
have to worry about hearing it again.
Right. That's right. And
Uh,
you got to look at this, and I want to make sure I stress this. Never let anyone tell you, even if they tell you they're going to hurt your family, if you tell or if you talk, talk. Don't hold it in.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
if
you.
they going to kill you, it's either they going to do it, or if you hold it in, you going to kill you. Because it's too big of a burden to carry alone.
Mm-hmm.
Not that type of burden. You can't carry that by yourself. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
it.
I'm glad you said that because my dad used to teach us that if you was born to burn, you ain't gonna drown. The
Right.
only thing is you don't know which way that you're gonna go. So,
Right.
like you said, don't lose your voice. That's what people want you to do is to shut up and shut down and
And
don't
shut
use
down.
your voice. But we gotta stand up for right. We gotta
Yeah.
stand up for integrity if that's what we say we're about.
Right.
So how
And
is
that's
it
what
that
we
we're
about.
about that? Yeah, how are we about that? But when it
Right.
comes time to do it, nobody is willing to do it because nobody wanted to be them.
Nobody. Exactly. Ex-
Yeah, but
exactly. But
my
I
thing,
mean, this is how I feel too. Now, there's um, there's a lot, you know,
mhm,
that other topics too that we could probably touch on, like
exactly. Yes,
because no one's bringing to light a lot of the things that's going on, in the
yes,
world with
yes,
us, black women, black men, our youth, black children.
yes.
Where does it start? Where does it end? Nobody knows.
Domestic violence is a huge issue right now in my city,
Where you at?
Really?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I thought I saw something. What's the latest thing that happened up there?
Mainly homicides, a lot of fentanyl, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, and they don't bring that to light because nobody um want to deal with an addict. That's trashy. They don't give addicts respect. So even
Hmm.
here in the city, you walk around, you see needles on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And we right now are what the most dangerous out the whole country.
Hmm.
And that's what they've deemed us as. You have all type of crime going on, and it's in New Orleans. See,
Uh-huh.
it's different parishes to New Orleans. I'm actually living in Metro New Orleans.
Okay.
This is where it all is. You know, this is where all the crime is.
Hmm.
We don't have police officers that come out. It took
Mm.
3 hours to get an ambulance to come to my house for my daughter
What?
2 weeks ago.
Really?
3 hours. Yeah. And when they came in, they didn't come in with the bag to check vitals or anything. They came in and they asked her if she was feeling better. She just said she wanted to go back to sleep. Fuck, it's been 3 hours. 3 hours.
So they didn't transport her?
They didn't transport her,
Uh,
and they didn't even check her vitals before they left to make sure she was okay.
isn't that something?
This is how bad we have it here in the city of New Orleans. I don't know if Eve is still in here. She can tell you this is what's going on here.
Mm.
They just arrested 2 girls for shooting on the interstate. We've been having a lot of interstate coming into New Orleans, interstate murders, shootings.
Mm.
2 black girls in a car shooting, just shooting out the car, driving
The
What?
New
the
Orleans.
big
And
case here is
guess what? In fact, I'm gonna put it up on my community. They took their picture laughing.
Mm.
They took the mugshot laughing.
Mm.
Ain't
We
that some
couldn't hear you, Ryan.
Oh no, I ain't. It wasn't. I was just gonna say the big case here is the Daryl Brooks, the dude that drove into the parade full of kids, and he representing himself. So it's
Yeah.
like it's a real big spectacle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was he Asiatic or was he European?
He was Asiatic.
Okay. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
That's absolutely crazy.
And they don't bring that to light. They don't bring to light, drug addicts that's overdosing. They don't bring none of that shit to the light.
I have a show and I've had a reoccurring guest. She's a family friend and she's been bringing me about the fentanyl problem here in Dallas that I didn't know we were having over in the southern sector of Dallas. People were coming up missing and nobody can find them. And then they heard, we have a fairground. It's rumored that at night people have seen wild hogs. Now we know what wild hogs do. They eat the bone, the clothes, and everything.
Everything. Them
Yeah,
hoes eat the clothes too?
they eat everything.
Oh, I
Nothing
didn't
is
know that.
left. Nothing is left.
You
And
live and you
so
learn.
it's some things going on like that in Dallas. And so she's an advocate, because she's been in recovery, like you. And I've been bringing that to the forefront. But I did some research, of course, and it's the number one problem everywhere.
Yeah.
This fentanyl stuff. And
Oh
now
my
they
goodness.
also have on the news in Texas. I don't know about you guys' state, but they're telling you if you receive something in the mail, like how the little perfumery things that used to
Yeah.
come,
Yeah.
don't smell it because they're putting that drug on it. And if you see something on your car, don't
Yeah.
touch it.
Yeah. Now
Don't
that
touch
one
it.
we have
Yeah,
down here. We
don't
we
touch
heard
it.
that one on the
Have y'all
news.
seen the rainbow fentanyl? I heard the story about it. I'm not sure where it was
Rainbow
out,
fentanyl. They got a
Uh,
but
rainbow
it just
fentanyl?
made it here to Milwaukee. It's like it looked like vitamins, like the old Flintstone vitamins.
What?
oh,
And I guess it's like just pressed fentanyl, and then I guess I would imagine the dealers would probably break it down and do whatever they do with it.
Oh, I'm gonna Google that. I'm
yeah.
gonna talk about that. I'm gonna research all of that and talk about
Okay.
that tomorrow on my live.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, but
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna talk
feel like
about
we
that
should be
tomorrow.
using these platforms because we don't get the news in real
Yeah,
life. And I
yeah.
thought that, we can entertain, we can be funny, but yet we can also educate our
People want to
people.
learn though. People want to know
Yes.
some things.
Yeah.
You could get reality TV and drama all day long,
Yes.
but some people do want to learn. They want to hear
Yes.
what's going on in the world,
Yes. That's what
you
will help
know,
us.
and
Uh,
and and that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Smoke a lot. Did you see that? That was up there. He said that
Yeah,
you could check out his
his
mentor
book.
books.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I got you. Smoke a lot.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I got you. Smoke a lot. Trust me, I'm gonna remember your name.
Smoke a lot.
I'm gonna remember that
That's what I
name.
do. Smoke a lot. I started smoking when I was about 11 or 12. Me and my cousins. You know how back in the day your parents, my dad, if he had a pack of cigarettes, it would last him a year because he only smoked when he drank on the weekend. But my
Right.
mom, they say she started smoking at the age of 35. So it wasn't
Yeah.
too long after she had me. But uh we used to light their cigarettes, so we've been smoking a long time, and I had
Yeah.
to tell on myself because my mom she was the disciplinarian, and so
And
this lady saw me smoking one day, and so I had to
Mhm.
run home and tell it before she told it because she taught me like I teach my son, don't live your life one way in the
Right.
streets and then
Right.
come home to me like you this sweet little let me know
Innocent.
what's going on. I don't give a fuck what's going on because
Yeah.
I got your back. I'm your mom and I'm going to be there
Right.
always. And he lives to that to this day.
Mhm.
Sometimes he tell me shit I don't want to hear, but he's going to tell me nonetheless. So
That's how it is with me and my daughter, But all of us were close, even my son. We were real close. And we knew that if we didn't hear, we was contacting. This boy, if they didn't hear from me, I didn't hear from them, I would have the damn police knocking on this door. You know what I'm saying? That's overprotected. Oh, that used to make him so mad. Lord, did he get mad, baby? I had them cops coming to that house. You heard me? I'm not playing when it come to my babies.
I know
One
that's
minute
real.
could be a minute too late. You know
Wait
what
a
I'm
minute.
saying?
What you say
And
about
then
baby?
he used to tell me, you got to stop watching the ID channel.
You look
First
at ID.
48 and shit.
I looked at ID every day when I used to look at TV. That was my channel,
They get
ID.
mad.
But I
But
need you to say that word for me again because we love, love, love. At least I
what,
do. To hear y'all say babies from New Orleans.
baby,
You say them babies. This shit
baby.
just go all over me.
You know, when I went to California, right? I went to California with me and my ex-husband, my daughter's dad. We got married.
Uh-huh.
He was shipped to San Diego, so we left abruptly to go live in San Diego for 3 years. And all the damn people over there in Sacramento, not Sacramento, San Diego,
Uh-huh.
in the military housing base we lived on.
Uh-huh.
Girl, every time I come outside, they just want to talk. They'll stare at me, and then when I'm passing to go to the car, they'll just say, good morning, and I'll be like, good morning, baby. And y'all say babies. So
It's something about that
I
baby,
don't
baby.
hear
I
what
can say
y'all
it.
hear, you know. I
Uh,
don't be hearing what y'all hear, but you ain't the first one who tell me about that baby.
oh, we love that baby. I ain't lying. Don't nobody say it, like y'all. It's like cookies. She always say her glices. And
Yeah,
she talk about you say
yeah.
your lookers, and she say her glices. That shit
My
just
lookers.
yeah, that just tickle me so, to hear that because
Yeah, that's what we say
it's our
down
own
here.
slang.
Y'all see my lookers?
Yeah,
In
that's
fact, I didn't need my lookers for the night. They right here. But I'm gonna get ready to get on off here because I gotta get my daughter. She get off at 10.
okay. Well, we certainly thank you. And
Oh
Ryan,
yeah,
if you like, we can get ready to close it out because
yeah.
Yeah,
we've been
okay.
at this a long time and you came and honored me
And
after.
it was nice meeting you, Ryan.
Likewise. I mean, I've been watching your content. I know who you are.
Okay, all right. Oh Lord. All right, baby.
Okay.
But it was nice meeting you too.
Thank you, Miss 504.
All right.
I
Y'all have
look
a good
forward to
night.
hearing from you again when you want to, do something. Just please,
Yeah,
let's
you
do
too.
something. Yeah,
You
let's do
too.
something. Okay.
Okay.
It
Y'all have a
sounds
good
real
night.
good. All right.
You
Good night
too.
to you.
Okay, baby.
I don't know how to do. You want
I'm
me to
about to
I'm
turn
gonna
get
it
up.
get
off?
off
I'm about
too,
to do it.
Toothless. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's great. Okay, Ryan. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you. I'm sure we'll
it.
talk again.
Okay, we will.
All right. All right.
Trust
Bye.
me, we will. Okay, don't cross me. Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for staying with me all this time. And, I love it when you guys support me in that manner. I hope that everybody hit the like button. If you didn't hit it on the way in, if you would hit it on the way out. This is countdown to my 64th birthday come Wednesday. I'll be 64 years old. Today is the first day of Scorpio season, and I am truly a Scorpio woman, October born. I think we're a little different than the November borns. They may be, beg to differ with me, but I think we're a little bit different. But I am going to be, if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, if you would be interested, I am going to have a sip and chew in the Tiger's Den on next Saturday, the 29th, at the Omni Hotel downtown Dallas in the Presidential Suite. And if you're interested in stopping by, then by all means send me an email. It doesn't cost you a dime. We're just going to eat, drink, and be merry for that day, that blissed day, October 26th. I share that with my nephew. And we have had some beautiful times together celebrating our birthday. Uh, I was sick for a little while. I had the flu or something, but it was the first time I really was just very fatigued. But having congestive heart failure, it kind of takes the sail out of your the wind out of your sail, I should say. But I'm doing okay now. Congestive heart failure, you have a cough and then you have excessive mucus. And I don't mean to be disrespectful by saying mucus, but that's what it is. And so it really bothers you. They don't tell you that's it, And a lot of people say, quit smoking, you ought not to be smoking. Well, I probably shouldn't be. But I have a very good heart doctor. And what he explained to me with my heart going into congestive stage is that, with me having a pacemaker for the last 39 years, the heart automatically weakens. And perhaps smoking is not helping with, uh, my heart. But I have to live each day as if it's my last. And I don't do much and I can't get around much. I'm mobile, I walk, I do what I want, but I don't have the desire to do a lot. So I kind of just do what makes me happy and helping others, telling people my truth and what I've learned. It really makes me feel happy. Sometimes it may be costly to my son and my sister because they help me tremendously when I fall short. But they know my heart and they know me. And I've been this way ever since I've been an adult. And so, having said all of that, let me see. Smoke a lot said, Toothless, I'm dangerous minds. I use this when Coolio passed, the movie with Morgan Freeman. What made me choose the motto? Oh, okay, okay. That's good to know. But I love you guys for staying with me, uh, being, instrumental in the conversation, communicating back and forth. I did not get an opportunity to um, acknowledge the people that gave. If y'all would allow me before we leave to acknowledge them by doing the Cash App sign, because that's what we do over here. I want to let them know that I am grateful. I didn't get to shout out everybody like I normally would, but I thought the topic needed to get my attention. But my moderators are very good. And so, Abby, I just love, love, love the fact that you actually um, put in the warning about the topic and things like that. Maria, always on top. She's going to drop them links like nobody's business. I'm so honored. Laura, if she catch somebody out of line, she's going to put them in place. And that's a fact. Wilma is on top of it in the same manner. You ladies are fantabulous. Phyllis is like myself. She doesn't know what to do with no wrench. She's just, happy to be here, and I'm happy to have her. That's one of my older siblings, and it means everything to me that my family support me in what I do, and they don't beat me up too bad when they find out that I've done dumb shit like giving away almost, $3,000 to $4,000 to people when I could have been doing other things. But for me, helping other people is happiness and what I want to do. So if I forgot somebody, I don't know how many numbers that was, but if I forgot someone, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. I just want to acknowledge those that acknowledge me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. If you are subscribed and you're not a member, consider being a member. I've dropped all of my memberships down to as little as 99 cents. Um, or you can do 199 or 299 all the way up to 24.99. I have 6 tiers. that helps supports the channel. And so if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Sucker Free said, hello, TT. How was your birthday? Has it passed? I remember you saying you were having a party. No, Sucker Free, it's going to be, the party is next Saturday on the 29th. My birthday is Wednesday, the 26th. That's that bliss day of the year, the greatest day that ever was. My sister honored me and got me the presidential suite at the Omni Hotel Dallas. And I don't know if you know anything about Omni Resorts, but the city of Dallas built that hotel. So it's very, top of the line, and it's top notch. And so I'm grateful that I have the love of my siblings and that we all work together. We may not always see eye to eye, but thank goodness our parents instilled in us that all we have is each other. And when you realize that that's all you have, then you learn each other's idioms, and you kind of tolerate some of the craziness, and then you love on each other the only way that you know how. And growing up, we all used to laugh, and we called it back then playing the dozens. We all used to talk about each other and laugh. I didn't get too much of that because I was the baby girl, so I kind of missed it. I was kind of like alone, but I am a part of the village. And so that's what we need to, as we know we are tribal people, we need to think more tribal and more together than we do apart. You guys have really blessed me with your time. I am so grateful for this live, and to Miss 504 and to Ryan for showing up, excuse me, and showing out. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who came. I hope to see anybody in Dallas. If you would just email me at toothlesstiger7@gmail.com if you'd like to come and be a part of the celebration. I did have, if you want to give $10 donation, not for anything or the party or anything, that's just for my birthday gift. And I did that because I seen other content creators do it. That's no other reason. Don't feel bad if you don't have it and if you don't do it. We're still cool anyway because you showed up. You gave me your time. You gave me a like. You participated in the chat. That means anything than more money could ever mean, because that means you're invested in me and I in you. So on that note, it's that time. I'm getting ready to leave the Tiger's Den. Have a beautiful evening, everybody. Goodbye.
This video was made for education and entertainment purposes only. There's no malice or ill intent from the content creator. So please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great evening. Good night.